What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 2SW Chapter 36, During the Founding of the People's Republic of China, Rock Shinobi Strikes. Advertisement, after a while, 3,000 people screamed. Even a drop of blood is transformation, and the pain of transformation is not something ordinary people can bear. Bang bang bang, suddenly, there were two sounds, dozens of bursts sounded. I saw that dozens of people collapsed, causing confusion in the spirit of the soul, and exploding his body. Seeing this scene, Kushina couldn't help being shocked. Is it still going to die? How lucky I am. Lan Yu is speechless, any power comes at a price. Insufficient will, nothing is worthwhile. Lan Yu, as the successor to the ancestors' power, has suffered geometrically multiplied, and the will of ordinary people has absolutely collapsed. He relied on Hōgyoku to survive. Then, after absorbing the soul energy of those who touched him and died, the will was strengthened and gradually calmed down. Count the death toll and complete it as soon as possible. Yes, Lord Lan Yu. 3,000 people, more than 200 people died, and they were quickly made up. In the end, 3,000 saints stood on the square, and everyone felt their own strength. That big bowl of spiritual water made their level reach Shunin. Whether it was a ninja or a jonin before, it is now a sage soldier with an energy level of 3,000 Shunin. Although nothing, but basic skills can be learned quickly. Sensing the spiritual power of the holy soldiers and Ryotsu, Jiraiya and others are speechless. Lan Yu-sama is too easy to make a strong one. How do other Shinobu villages play? One side needs a lot of time and resources to cultivate, and the other is wholesale production. In contrast, the ninja world must be over. Kushina, Makoto, you come to teach them the basic skills. As for Orochimaru, go and practice your own power. Yes, Lord Lan Yu. The base of the army, civilians, territory, and empire are all there. Lan Yu is full of expectations for the future of the empire. 3 days later, it rains almost every day in the country of rain, and it suddenly clears up in the weeping country. The shining sun seems to be presenting gifts for the birth of a king. The clouds are happily spreading a gorgeous rainbow in the sky, which is colorful. Hurry up, today is the day of the founding of the nation, you can't miss it. Great Lord Lan Yu, admire you, and wish you well. Yes, if it weren't for Lan Yu, the country of rain would have been reduced to ruins. One by one, the original ninjas and villagers of the country of rain came from afar, and Chi-Chi came to the center, and those ninjas gradually accepted the facts. Certainly, the diehard Hanzo was killed long ago. For those civilians, they don't care who is in charge. But they knew that the current leader was a king with civilians in his eyes, and that was enough. More importantly, it was the arrival of Lan Yu that made the country of rain completely avoid war. In a few days, they never saw ninjas from other countries burned, killed and plundered here. The smiles of the children and the elderly have also changed, and everything seems to be heading for the better. Jango is nothing but, need so many people to participate? Yes, isn't the founding of a nation just organizing an army, building a palace, and just reporting it? Advertisement, Lan Yu is too ambitious, and even put all ninjas under the management of the empire, with military and political power in his hands. In contrast, the names of other countries are too weak. Hush, Lan Yu shouldn't be a big name, it's said to be called Your Majesty. At the same time, spies from other countries and villages also came here cautiously. They also found that Lan Yu, the Demon King, it seemed different. Who on earth tells Lan Yu that the great Demon King can only kill? This is clearly a benevolent king who will win the hearts of the people. This also gave them an idea of Lan Yu's character. As warm as spring inside, it's as cold as winter. Interesting. While the villagers and ninjas of the original Rain Country were looking forward to the establishment of the empire, Lan Yu whispered lightly in a hall. But Orochimaru and others did not even dare to breathe. Latest information. Onoki brought 5 tails Jinchuriki Han and more than 10,000 rock shinobi ninjas to attack. At present, it has reached the border of the country of soil and is about to enter the border of the empire. The slogan, Rock Shinobi and Lan Yu never die, the major ninja villages also cast their eyes. Even if the war between Konaha and Sand Shinobi is suspended, we are all waiting for the result of the battle between the Invisible Empire and Rock Shinobi. To know that today is the moment when the Invisible Empire is established. Onoki chose to arrive at this time. What a shame this is. Orochimaru opened his mouth and said, Lan Yu-sama. Not urgent. Lan Yu raised his hand slightly, looked at the tall beautiful girl with the pretty light purple hair below, and said calmly. The enemy is coming. Let's make a cup of black tea first. Everyone was taken aback. Conan smiled and nodded. Yes, Lord Lan Yu. That's it, no matter what enemies they face, they are so calm, and this is the god in their hearts. After that, everyone sat down quietly and tasted the black tea. Hey, suddenly I don't feel nervous anymore. Yahiko was surprised, and everyone couldn't help but nodded, feeling relieved as they drank the tea. After all, who would have thought of drinking tea before the onset of the war? It would take much heart. Master Lan Yu, do you have any battle plan? Jiraiya is quite heavy, although their strength is not bad, and even because of the mismatch of intelligence, even if they face any opponent, they can do it well. But that is a one-to-one situation. When the number of people reaches a certain number, but their realm is not so high, the crowd tactics can consume them to death. Judging from Lan Yu's attitude, this battle does not intend to involve the original Rain Country ninja and sacred troops. Lan Yu will not shoot either. Then there are only 8 of them. Lan Yu put down the teacup and scanned the audience with a calm tone. More than 10,000 people. It seems that you don't know enough about your own strength. Asterisk. Chapter 37. Killing, you can become stronger. Seeking flowers, seeking monthly ticket, seeking evaluation. Advertisement. Everyone was taken aback. We don't know enough about our own power? Yes, you are too stupid. Hearing Lan Yu's words, Kushina coughed lightly. For example, if one of you meets a team of thousands of ninjas without cage level and no special abilities, can you kill them all? In other words, can they kill you? Is there pressure? This. Tsunade's brows moved slightly, and he said seriously, if it were me, the Shadow Realm would guarantee me to avoid any attacks, and Fei Linjiao greatly increased my mobility. And my attacks are all instant, not many ninjas can escape. My Holy Script ability can even attack in a wide range. With fast movement and high-intensity attacks, you can kill 1,000 ninjas without injury in 10 minutes. No one can run away. It seems. There is no pressure. Of course, it is to exclude the case of special blood ninjas and cage-level powerhouses. I can hear that Tsunade can kill 1,000 ninjas so easily. Other people's eyes lit up. Jiraiya spoke very cautiously. You are only talking about 1,000 people. When the number exceeds 10,000, there will be a lot of surprises. The other party also has 3rd Tsuchikage and even Jinchuriki. Consumption is also a problem. Yahiko grinned and said, we are mainly mobilizing spiritual attacks, not consuming spiritual power attacks. The consumption is not that large, and the high-speed attacks are scattered. If there are more people dead, they're scared away. Makoto whispered. Imperial territory is inviolable, and no one can be spared. Is that all killed? It's a bit difficult. Everyone is thinking about various countermeasures. They felt that a few people were divided to intercept the strong, and the rest bombarded the crowd wildly. With their speed and evasion ability, there should be no problem. The problem now is that although it consumes less. But time is not enough. Their current level is only elite Jonin. Even if they win, they may not be able to kill them all. After a person dies, his soul will emit a very high concentration of spirits. If the Quincy devours all his soul energy, it will make the Quincy stronger. This is a shortcut. Lan Yu sent out a teacup and calmly said, if the energy of the soul swallowed reaches a certain amount, the spiritual power of the Quincy and Ryotsu will be greatly enhanced, and even self-evolve. This can still be like this. Kushina blinked dazedly. Makoto and I killed Hanzo, why didn't they become stronger? In fact, all the enemies they kill will have their soul energy absorbed by Lan Yu. Not just soul energy, the knowledge, experience, skills and talents he learned will be absorbed and integrated by Lan Yu. This is the horror of the ancestor of the Quincy. After having a younger brother, there is no need to practice at all. Through war, one's own talents will gradually be strengthened. Lan Yu said directly, it will be absorbed later. Last night, Lan Yu released the restrictions. From now on, 90% of the soul energy of the slain is absorbed by Lan Yu, and 10% belongs to them. If they divide their energy into strength, they can also do better for him. Orochimaru gave a wicked smile. As Master Lan Yu said, it is really difficult for us to kill all more than 10,000 people now. But if we can support war through war, we will get stronger and stronger, and the enemy will be less and less. Finally, win. Advertisement. This is a war that can be recorded in the annals of Ninja World. Wow. The crowd was in an uproar, and then shocked inexplicably. Killing becomes stronger. Simply unreasonable. But when I thought of the scene where more than 10,000 ninjas could be killed by just a few of them. No one can keep calm. That is killing, not defeating and surrendering. If it spreads out, the shinobi world must be shaken. If you kill them all, more than 10,000 ninjas will add Tsuchikage and Five Tails soul energy. Even if I only absorb 90%, that's a tremendous enhancement. Lan Yu expressed expectation. So, no intruder left. This war was an extremely rare gift and a perfect meal for Lan Yu. At that time, Lan Yu's flat A is a big move. At that time, Lan Yu can say something more calmly. I made a slide shot, and I was already at the limit of a ninja. Kushina expressed excitement, Makoto smiled, Orochimaru, Jiraiya and Tsunade also let go of their concerns. 3 little ones. Oh no, the grown-up Yahiko, Nagato and Conan faced so many opponents in their first fight. More is excitement. Just listen to Lan Yu saying, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Tsunade. Master Lan Yu, please order. The 3 of them were solemn and half kneeling on the ground. Oyama is handed over to you. Take him as quickly as possible, I want him to die. Yes, Lord Lan Yu. Lan Yu looked at the long-awaited Conan 3 people again, and said, Conan, Yahiko, Nagato. 5 Tails Jinchuriki give it to you, kill him. Yes, Lord Lan Yu. Uchiha Makoto, Uzumaki Kushina confronts the remaining ninjas of the enemy, pay attention to safety, fight by war, wait for the support of both sides, and join forces to besiege. This war, I hope to see. The birth of the Eucharist is finished. Yes, Lord Lan Yu, after the Eucharist, everyone is also looking forward to it. However, the 6 Orochimaru talents have just gained the ability of the Quincy for 3 or 4 days, even with the help of Lan Yu, they still don't have a high level of proficiency. Only Makoto and Kushina can finish the Eucharist. It is only possible. Eucharist is not evolution. It's just the complete liberation of strength, which is equivalent to Zanpakuto Bankai. By improving spiritual power, Ryatsu and Holy Script proficiency, the power of the Eucharist will gradually increase. After finishing speaking, Lan Yu stood up, all the aura of looking over everything was washed away. We are invincible ahead of us. Chapter 38. Onoki arrives, soaring flames, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement: the border of the country of soil. The country of rain is at the center of the three countries of wind, fire, and soil. It is next to the border of the three countries, and is surrounded by small countries such as the country of birds, the country of grass, and the country of Sichuan. A place of absolute chaos. In the mountains and grasses along the border, spies from all countries and villages held their breath. Here, many ninjas. It seems Onoki is really angry, but it's a bit irrational. There will be a lot of casualties no matter if you win or lose. Are you afraid of other Yuyin Village sneak attacks? Maybe Onoki just used an excuse to pass through the country of rain and attack the country of fire. After all, there is no oil to fish in the country of rain. It's really possible. The more people think about it, the more likely it is. As the shadow of a village, Oyemu, no matter how angry, the first consideration should be the interests of the village. Just like Sarutobi Hiruzen, Lan Yu was provoked to that extent and still resisted. Can you say that he doesn't have the spirit of a strong man? No, it's not that Sarutobi didn't dare, he had too many worries, and Konoha was his weakness. After all, Lan Yu is barefoot and is not afraid to wear shoes, and Sarutobi dare not mess around. For Rock Shinobi, it is no good to win against the Invisible Empire, and it is no good to lose. If it is just to vent anger, this time period is not a good time. World War II is still underway, and the prosperous fire country should be Rock Shinobi's goal. But for Lan Yu, it doesn't matter, no matter what Oyemu's purpose is, but he dares to take so many people to try to cross the border of the empire, that is to find death. The imperial territory is inviolable. Even if the country has not yet been established, the original rain country is also Lan Yu's territory. Master Tsuchikage, a few miles ahead is the country of rain. More than 10,000 people saw the densely packed area. Five Tails Jinchuriki, Steam Ninja, Han also had a heavy gaze. Lan Yu, will you choose to let us pass? HMPH, it is us who made concessions, what reason does he have to refuse? The half-drifting third Tsuchikage Onoki snorted coldly. In fact, no matter how angry Onoki is, the first thing he considers is the interests of the village. Private hatred can't make him lose his mind at all. What's the use of a mere country of rain? Passing through the country of rain, hitting Konoha by surprise is the kingly way. If you don't pass from the rain country, then the intention is too obvious, and it is easy to cause Konoha's alert. But I always feel a little uneasy. Han doesn't know how to say it, anyway, the closer he gets to the country of rain. In other words, the closer you get to Lan Yu, the restlessness in your heart, as if a catastrophe is imminent. Onoki glanced at him and said, Han, you have done countless contributions to Hōgyoku, and you are also one of the best in the ninja world. How can you be timid to face a young man? Han was silent and calmed down, and on a mountain far away. Lan Yu and others looked at the incoming rock shinobi. The densely packed rock shinobi ninjas can indeed make countless people's scalp numb. The first time I saw so many ninjas, Kushina couldn't help but stunned. This is too much. It's okay, Kushina. Lan Yu looked into the distance calmly, not paying attention to it at all, with a calm tone. Advertisement. Whether the dust removed is one or two, it is indistinguishable by the naked eye. Everyone heard the words and admired them very much. Master Lan Yu can always say words that are enough to make them the most reasonable saying, making them excited. Then, let's go, I will start the show for you. 5 miles, 4 miles, 3 miles. When it was less than a kilometer away from the border, Onoki stopped the troops. Temporarily fix it, and by the way send a messenger to inform Lan Yu to discuss major issues. Inomu, who had just spoken, suddenly widened his eyes. Boom. I saw an incomparably flaming flame of Lingza rising from the ground in the center of the main force, turning into a pillar of fire to the sky, carrying the blazing high temperature. The tens of feet wide Lingza flame directly melted the earth in a radius of hundreds of meters. More tyrannical storms spread to the surrounding area. Suddenly, there was a burst of pain, awe. Following the screams of the rock shinobi, looking at the tens of feet wide and high into the sky, Oyemu suddenly shouted. A hole! Go back! Go back! Rock shinobi's troops immediately spread, looking at the pillar of fire with lingering fears. The terrible heat can be felt even at a distance of several hundred meters. At that moment, a few hundred ninjas died on the spot. Come! Lan Yu's unknown attack. The spies were energetic, and they recorded something one after another. No one thought that Lan Yu would take the initiative to attack and intercept outside the border. Onoki put a few earth styles towards the flames of Lingza, but it was melted before it got close, and he immediately shouted angrily. Lan Yu, what are you doing? Come out for me. At this moment, there was a sneer from the flame of Lingza. Jia, you are not qualified to meet Master Lan Yu. Yahiko, you idiot, the smile is so terrible, we are not villains. Yes, there is no masculinity at all, learn from the fairy Jiraiya, ha 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 ha, welcome the arrival of the Invisible Empire. Miscellaneous. Idiot. Hearing this, Onoki's forehead burst into blue veins. It seems that Lan Yu is not only arrogant, but his men are even more arrogant. Oyemu said coldly. What are you still doing? Open the barrier, and seal them here for me. Boom. At this moment, the flame of Lingza gradually dissipated, revealing 8 figures. Before the rock shinobi ninjas could reflect, the 8-stranded Ryotsu intertwined and dispersed madly in all directions. In an instant, the earth over 100 meters in radius began to tear. Ah, what is this? Puff, cough, I feel like I am carrying a mountain. Asterisk. Chapter 39. Dust Escape Original World Stripping Technique, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Monthly Pass, Seeking Support. Advertisement, Ryotsu acts on the soul, and it is like a mountain of pressure. The Chunin couldn't move their bodies, the Jonin couldn't breathe, and Genin felt the pain of tearing the soul. Bang bang bang. In an instant, within a few hundred meters of Genin, most of his soul shattered and fell to the ground and died. This scene shocked all rock shinobi. Even Onoki was shocked, completely incomprehensible. The powerful ninja relies on aura to shatter buildings, such as large pillars, but they also carry chakra. But I have never seen the existence of a ninja crushing the ground by aura. This is pure soul energy, a very high concentration of spirit child. After absorbing it, I can feel that I am getting stronger. Spiritual power and Ryotsu are improving. Although it is not obvious, if we kill them all, we can definitely advance. Cool. With a burst of whispers, the 8 figures appeared in front of everyone. It's like 8 points of white in the lotus. The uniform snow-white suits of the 8 people are incompatible with ninjas but very mysterious. They are all printed with Invisible Empire emblems and sacred seals. Invisible Empire, members of the Holy Legion, join. Seeing these 8 tall, rich, handsome, and white, rich and beautiful, all rock shinobi ninjas were stunned. Master Tsuchikage, why their battle uniforms are so cool, it is full of mystery and aura at first glance. Ours is unreliable? Go on, give me all of them, kill them. Oyemu yelled angrily. Lan Yu was so cruel as soon as he came, and there was no possibility of negotiating a peace, then kill. Whoosh whoosh. Without waiting for the ninjas to take action, Orochimaru and others dispersed and rushed into the crowd. The advantage of the crowd is that ninjas will not release ninjutsu easily, so as not to accidentally injure their teammates. Basically, they are mainly physical skills. This also gives them a chance to brush up on a wave of experience first. Spirit Blade. The knife condensed from the spirit child appeared in the hands of 8 people. Quiet Blood Outfit. Fei Lian feet. Move at a very fast speed while strengthening the physical defense. The 8 people flashed in the crowd like 8 white flashes, and each flash was splashed with blood. The speed is too fast to give the ninjas a chance to react. Especially in the crowd, teammates can't use ninjutsu indiscriminately, which makes them lambs to be slaughtered. In the blink of an eye, rock shinobi's blood stained the ground, and there were painful shouts everywhere. Damn it, stop for the old man. Onoki was full of anger, wishing to kill everyone, but he didn't dare to make a big move easily. And the mobility of the 8 is too strong to be accurately attacked from the crowd. This is like the 8 weakened versions of yellow flashes in the next 3 wars. But the yellow flashes of the future also need to project kunai with the mark of Flying Thunder God before they can teleport, but 8 of them. In terms of mobility, you follow your heart and go wherever you want. Advertisement, especially in the crowd, just hold the spirit blade and hack it. Anyway, it's the enemy. Except for some ninjas of the Grandmaster body flicker technique, most of the remaining Chunin and Genin are completely living targets, without the slightest resistance at all. Sometimes there are too many people, but it becomes a drag. Hey, those are Orochimaru, Tsunade, Jiraiya, and 2 powerful women who killed Hanzo. Who are the remaining 3? Why are they so fast? You can't see the shadow at all. So strong. The spies in the dark were dumbfounded. Would Lan Yu train the strong faster? After all, even the body flicker technique can make successive turns. Every time you instantaneously you need to get a seal. How can there be all kinds of fast moving back and forth like this, without stagnation with turning? But Onoki has rich experience and immediately ordered. All rock shinobi obey orders, use earth style to sneak underground and avoid them. Earth style scuba diving in the earth, earth style rock shinobi technique. Earth style earth shore return. After the panic, rock shinobi also reacted. Most ninjas dive into the ground, and some ninjas open their defenses and are ready to attack at any time. In a blink of an eye, except for a few genin who was frightened, I only know 3 body technique. The battlefield was empty for a while. On the empty battlefield, the 8 Conan in the white quincy suits were very eye-catching. After absorbing a few clusters of soul energy again, Kushina is a pity. It's too insidious to run down and kill me for half an hour, and I will be able to advance. The corners of everyone's mouth twitched. How stupid rock shinobi is to stand still and let you kill. The opportunity just now is fleeting. Damn it, kill them. Earth style the earth moving core. A group of rock shinobi appeared. Quickly Jiin performed ninjutsu. The palm of one hand was pressed fiercely on the ground under the feet, and the entire ground under the feet suddenly swelled like a wave, rushing towards the 8 people with great strength. Sorry, your operation speed is too slow. The 8 Conan escaped easily. Most ninjas even need body flicker technique. The more powerful the ninjutsu, the more the knots, which are flaws in their eyes. Okay, very good. I have to say that you successfully angered me. Onoki smiled cruelly, waved his hand to signal rock shinobi to retreat, showing a faster speed than Orochimaru 8. Brush. Before he could speak, Onoki appeared above Nagato and Orochimaru. The chakra on his body rushed out, and his hands folded and aimed at them. Dust Escape Original Realm Stripping Technique. The overbearing ninjutsu broke out, and a huge cube of energy was directly blasted out of Onoki's hands. A spherical white light was wrapped in the middle, and it was crushed crazily. The blood succession elimination, dust escape, which is above the blood succession boundary, can turn everything in its enchantment into an atomic state. Its upgraded version of boundary stripping technique. Susanoo, who destroyed 25 wood-style clones of Uchiha Madara in an instant, was tyrannical to the extreme. Not good. Chapter 40. Conan ability, world harmony, seeking monthly ticket, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation. Advertisement, not good. A fatal crisis came, and the pupils of Nagato and Orochimaru shrank. As soon as Tsuchikage shot, he knew if there was any. It's so fast. As the pinnacle of the ninja world, third Tsuchikage Onogi is something that countless ninjas don't want to face, compared to the half-god Hanzo who indiscriminately poisons. There is no bones in the dust touch. Boom, there was almost no sound, as if it had burst a balloon. After the dust escape primordial realm peeling technique exploded by Dayemu fell on the ground, it immediately decomposed all the objects on the ground. The great horror in silence disappeared. Damn, where are you hiding? But after the blow landed, Oyemu didn't show any relaxed look on his face, but frowned slightly. He clearly saw that when the barrier was only a few centimeters away from the two of them, it instantly disappeared from his eyes. The speed is too fast, causing the illusion of being directly decomposed. Makoto, this red nose is amazing. Seeing a large piece of the ground disappear out of thin air, Kushina felt her goosebumps all up. If this happens accidentally, it's terrible. After all, it's a shadow, and it can't be viewed simply by the so-called cage level. Makoto also has a heavy look. I have to say that since Lan Yu took her away from Konaha, the world view has increased dramatically every day. After all, most of the Uchiha clan looks like a goddess in my CK. It is easy to spoil the newborn Uchiha children and make them think that Uchiha is invincible. Makoto has also been affected, I found out after I came out. Uchiha without Mangekyo is a joke in front of the top powerhouse. Hoo-ha. Ha, in the realm of shadows, Orochimaru and Nagato exhale deeply. Just a little too close, just a few centimeters away, they will definitely die there. The feeling of being in close contact with death is too exciting. Fortunately, the field of shadows is instant, which depends entirely on the speed of personal reaction. Earth-style Earth Dragon Ball, Earth-style Rock Pillar Gun. Earth-style Earth Stone Dragon. At this moment, dozens of rock shinobi released ninjutsu together. It's nothing, but the Han who saw this scene couldn't help being furious. A-hole, are you blind? I saw that dozens of rock shinobi attacked towards the Onoki in midair, their eyes were extremely hollow, as if they were under control. This scene also made Onoki vigilant. It's a feeling of becoming a puppet, obviously being manipulated. But I didn't see any chakra lines at all, which made Onoji's heart solemn. Tisk tisk, how does love suit me? Advertisement. Although Jiraiya said so, he was full of weird smiles. Come on, feel the love in my heart, holy writing ability, love. Love. Use your hands to make a heart-shaped gesture and shoot out a heart-shaped heterochromatic substance. The shot object will be completely obeyed and controlled by Jiraiya to launch an attack on the enemy. The ejected heart-shaped spirit can be changed into various states, such as ropes, bows and arrows, etc. In a word, Jiraiya's attack contained human manipulating substances. During the attack, many rock shinobi were controlled by it. For a while, some of the rock shinobi who saw Jiraiya were controlling them couldn't help staying away from him. Stop it now. Five Tails Jinchuriki Han tried to stop. 3 small sacred arrows came in a row, avoiding 2, still being pierced through the shoulders by a sacred arrow. Swipe it. Surrounded by Conan, Nagato and Yahiko, they are indifferent to each other. Next, we will take your life. Oh, it's up to you, Han said with disdain, but he did it faster than anyone else. He would never underestimate any opponent, rising up to give up thick steam. This is his steam armor, which can use steam to increase strength and speed. Boil-style weird power. Han raised chakra to the boiling point in one breath, instantly rising his power. And quickly attacked Conan, who seemed to be the weakest. Chong. A gorgeous Lingza saber appeared in Conan's right hand, and a shield with prismatic star-cross protrusions appeared in his left hand. A scapegoat in the left hand, and a sword in the right hand. Conan at the moment is like a legendary female knight, heroic. I give you misfortune. Seeing Han coming, Conan used his sword with his abilities. The face of the rushing man changed drastically, and he suddenly felt his strength fade rapidly. As if contaminated with some kind of unknown, his power became fragile. Puff. The weakened Han passed by Conan, a hideous and narrow wound appeared on Han's abdomen, and blood spattered out, directly hitting the ground. Puff, cough, what happened? Han's eyes are full of horror. What kind of power is this? Holy writing ability. World harmony. Conan's ability is exactly the ability of the Invisible Empire's Queen Hasward. It is a conceptual ability, the ability to never get injured after the battle. World reconciliation. 1. Give the opponent directly with misfortune through the sword, and the unlucky things will become fragile in the face of their own power. 2. Control misfortune and luck, transfer all your injuries to the enemy. At the same time, the misfortune that comes to one's own body will be endured by the scapegoat, and the damage will be fed back to the opponent a second time, causing the opponent to face the disaster of extinction. Simply put, Conan makes everything weak and brittle. If the enemy cannot be weakened, then any injuries received will be transferred to the enemy. Not only that, the scapegoat will cause a second return of damage. Chapter 41. Power. The shadow is powerful, seeking flowers, seeking monthly pass, seeking evaluation. Advertisement, meaning, Conan got one shot, the ability was activated, the enemy would get 2 shots, and Conan was unscathed. If Conan is seriously injured, then the enemy will be twice as badly injured or even killed. The battle is over and Conan is unscathed. Bug level ability, because how to fight Conan, Conan won't get hurt in the end. 1-to-1, Conan can drag and kill any enemy, of course, Conan's ability is more than that, it depends on his own understanding. How to control luck depends on your brain. Good job, Conan. All but a moment, seeing this scene, Yahiko and Nagato's eyes lit up, and they immediately condensed spirits at their fingertips, and each instantly sent a small holy arrow. Boom. But when the small sacred destroyer was about to attack Han, a huge chakra gushed out of Han and left the place instantly. When the 3 of them saw Han again, his body changed significantly. Remaining in human form, covered with a dark red tail beast coat, directly entered the half-tailed beast state. Roar. But in just a few seconds, Onoki just dodges the attack from Rock Shinobi when he heard the roar from the beast. Are those 3 young people so strong? Let Han enter into a half-tailed animalization without hesitation. Onoki's eyes were solemn. He found that he really underestimated these Lan Yu subordinates. Obviously he didn't feel how strong they were. But each one brought him a sense of crisis. In the final analysis, it was due to lack of intelligence. Noisy. At this moment, a tearing voice sounded. Below, Tsunade clenched his fist, causing the atmosphere to vibrate. Weird power punch. On the left, a huge shockwave burst out from Tsunade's hand, directly breaking the atmosphere. Accompanied by a harsh roar, he attacked Onoki. Holy text ability. Power. Pure power. Extremely violent. By absorbing the spiritual child and strengthening the spiritual power, it can strengthen the power with almost no limit. And Tsunade, which is originally a grandmaster physical skill, has the blessing of holy characters, enough to blast the atmosphere with a punch, bursting out a shockwave. This blonde girl is too violent. Jiraiya couldn't help but stunned when he saw this. Damn, this Tsunade. Who dares to come near? He promised that as long as he was touched by the current Tsunade fist, even if he wiped it, he would definitely die. Medium sacred killer. On the right, Orochimaru, who came out of the realm of shadow, accumulated the spirit child in his right hand to form a huge arrow. Immediately afterwards, it gave out an amazingly powerful light. Don't you need Jian? Various abilities are as strange as the limits of blood succession. Onoki's reaction speed was too fast, and even at the moment of distraction, he could detect this rapid attack for the first time. And turned around and fists fiercely blasted out. Earth-style rock fist technique, Earth-style hardening technique. Earth-style heavy rock technique. In an instant, a thick layer of rock condensed on the fist that Onoki blasted, and the hardening started. Not only that, he also greatly increased the weight of his fist and attack strength. Boom. Oyemu punched each on the left and right, and 2 brilliant sparks exploded in the sky, exploding shocking sound waves. Destroyed the attack of the 2 directly with fists. Hi, he is probably better than the teacher. Advertisement. This scene made the 3 Orochimaru solemn. Oyemu, who is in his prime, has almost no dead ends and weaknesses. They have extremely rich combat experience and strong combat awareness, and they are more dusty. Its combat power can be called the current era, the top. Even if third Raikage is wrong, the movies of this era are very strong and each has its own advantages. At the same time, Kushina and Mikoto are fighting against more than 10,000 ninjas. After all, the battlefields of 3rd Tsuchikage and 5 Tails Jinchuriki were not close to other ninjas, so they both targeted the 2 women. Come on, use your deaths to declare my existence. Remember, I am Uzumaki Kushina, please call me the Queen of Critical Strikes. Kushina carried a different kind of excitement. What she desires most now is to be able to become famous in the world of ninja and be worshipped by countless people. Thinking of the scene where countless ninjas kneeled on the ground and chanted "Long live the Queen," Kushina laughed, not like a goddess. Large divine destruction. Kushina drew an arc in the void with a spiritual blade in hand, and a huge bow and arrow appeared above the trajectory, smashing it directly toward the crowd. Boom. The moment the large sacred Miyoshi hits the ground, it becomes a huge lightsaber. Like a laser cannon, it bloomed with terrifying power, and all the ninjas in this straight line were all killed. A long and narrow gully made Rock Shinobi shocked. Me, Uchiha Mikoto. Mikoto shouted out his name very frankly, making many secret spies bewildered. I go, Uchiha. What's the situation with Lan Yu? There are Uzumaki tribe, Uchiha tribe, and Orochimaru tribe. Is this killing Konaha all at once? Sarutobi. Ooh, I'm too difficult. Chi. Anyone who tried to get close to Mikoto, Chi was forcibly changed his body shape and twisted to death. Enforcement is like a god in the battlefield. Hurry up and avoid it. I saw a dozen Rock Shinobi who had just finished the seal and were about to release ninjutsu at Mikoto. They were shocked to find that their direction of movement had changed. It also led to a change in the direction of the attack. A series of ninjutsu all attacked their own people. More than that, the Rock Shinobi who were out of control ran around and bumped into each other. Immediately afterwards, as if the virus spread, all Rock Shinobi began to get out of control. From a distance, Uchiha Mikoto stood calmly in place. The surrounding area was emptied within 100 meters, no rock shinobi could attack, and all were stopped by his own people. Controlling one, with the help of enforced transitivity, can change from 1 to 10, then to 100, snowballing increase. Of course, any ability has its limits. The limit of Mikoto is a matter of scope and quantity, but it can be improved in the future. But even so, with so many rock shinobi, none of them can hurt Mikoto, and can't even get close. Hi. This woman is terrifying. Compared to Kushina's various explosive bombs, although powerful and undefended, it is not terrifying to see that it is powerful. The scary thing is that Mikoto's completely incomprehensible ability makes his scalp numb. Over 10,000 rock shinobi, he was hunted down by 2 women. What are these abilities? In a dark corner somewhere, the black-white Zetsu silently ate melons. Asterisk. Chapter 42. White Zetsu Chiki Technique, seeking monthly ticket, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation. Advertisement Black Zetsu, secretly observe. I wanted to see Lan Yu make a move, but this time it all depends on 8 subordinates. I thought it was here to die, but I didn't expect it to be famous. I have been mixing for so many years, have I overlooked something? Black Zetsu was so dumbfounded. Lan Yu didn't care if he had an accident, how could it come out one after another? It seems that he has been feeding the dog for thousands of years. Enemy, Lan Yu, you are the enemy of my life. Do you need me to explain to you? Suddenly, a steady and powerful voice exploded in his ears, and Black Zetsu was shocked. White Zetsu yelled. Ah, who is it? Do you have a sense of ethics? Yelling. Neighbors in the neighborhood don't need to sleep. This idiot. Black Zetsu's eyes were ferocious. Next time, definitely kill it. But at this moment, Black Zetsu's heart sank to the bottom, because he found that he seemed to have come to Otherworld. There is nothing in the vast expanse of whiteness. Meet Black Zetsu again, is there any change in mood? As a word fell, the man wearing a white quilt suit and a black cloak walked away step by step, and the invisible pressure continued to increase. Ah! White Zetsu's pupils shrank, then screamed. The whole person broke away from Black Zetsu, and then lay directly on the ground. White Zetsu looked like a god of faith. Master Lan Yu, you are so handsome. Ah! As soon as I hear your voice, I'm so cautious and flop, this is definitely the most beautiful voice of the king in the world. As he said, White Zetsu looked around, his eyes widened suddenly. Oh my god, where is this place? Is it the legendary god realm? Yes, and only here can you be worthy of your stalwart body. Immediately, White Zetsu covered his eyes and shouted. Ah, I can't go to see you. You are dazzling than the sun, my weak existence is not worth looking into your eyes. Lord of the great invisible empire, may you be immortal. Please allow your humble servant to offer you the highest admiration. Bang 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 bang. I saw White Zetsu kneeling on the ground. After lying on the ground, that head hit the ground vigorously, which is called a hard work. Black Zetsu. Wow, I'm going crazy. What is it that makes White Zetsu so shameless? I really don't need anything to survive, can you be more shameless? Interesting soul. Lan Yu admitted that he was amused. I have to say that such a weird thing as White Zetsu is almost once in 1,000 years, and it is difficult to find a similar one in most of the world. Black Zetsu's tone is rather heavy. Where is this place? Space ninjutsu? No, maybe it's your unique bloodline ability. Lan Yu is too lazy to explain. Black and White Zetsu stayed in the shadows, so Lan Yu directly established the spiritual space here. In this kind of different space, the two can't escape for a lifetime. Advertisement seeing this, White Zetsu suddenly became angry. Black Zetsu, what kind of attitude are you? Lord Lan Yu is the greatest god in my heart, and you are not qualified to talk to you. Black Zetsu showed murderous eyes. A-hole, Lousy wanted to kill you a long time ago. Come on, as long as you can prevent you from polluting your beloved Lan Yu, I'm willing to kill me even if I die. Ah, how many years have you successfully angered me? We're 50-50, are you mad at fart? Damn, what is it that makes you feel like me? An angry Black Zetsu caught a glimpse of Lan Yu raising his hand, immediately tense physically and mentally, and made a posture like an enemy. A table, 3 chairs, and some tea sets were condensed between Lan Yu's hands. It was very easy going. It's too boring to start a quarrel, so let's talk to me. Black Zetsu. White Zetsu. This monster, why is it so pressing? Thinking like this in their hearts, the two of them sat on the chairs very carefully. It's impossible to resist, so I can only chat with Lan Yu about 30 yuan. Lan Yu said lightly. Otsutsuki Kaguya's will, Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu's spirits were shocked, his eyes showed disbelief. Wow, you are not Madara-sama's will, I want to report. Speaking of this, White Zetsu covered his mouth and immediately changed the subject. Hey, Otsutsuki Kaguya, the name is nice, she must be a beautiful woman. Lan Yu and Black Zetsu ignored him. Black Zetsu thought too much for a moment, and finally said in a deep voice, what is your purpose? Stop me. From what Lan Yu said, Lan Yu is definitely the person who knows him best in the ninja world, which makes him horrified, terrified, even confused and helpless. How many years has he worked hard? Black Zetsu can't remember it. Everyone has its own stages of growth in life, and each stage has its own goals. Even if it is a waste, it also lives out the different colors of each age. But for him, from the beginning, he had only one goal, to rescue his mother. His abilities have been fixed since birth, and he has worked hard to save his mother all his life. Even the meaning of his existence is to liberate the goddess of Mao in the legend. I never feel boring, even full of motivation. How do you understand me? You humans simply can't persist like me. Black Zetsu has been inferior to his ugly body, but also proud of his unchanging determination. In response to Black Zetsu's panic, pleading and desperate gaze, Lan Yu said calmly, "Didn't you say it? It's too boring to watch the show. Find someone to chat, that's all." What anxious pleading, shit. Even if Black Zetsu knelt on the ground and cried, it would not change any of Lan Yu's decision. It just so happens that Lan Yu has no intention of killing Black Zetsu. Why did you kill him? Make the boring ninja world even more boring. Black Zetsu is me, the most important part of Uchiha Madara. Lan Yu thought so in his heart and directly regarded Black Zetsu as a toolman. What is Uchiha Madara? In Lan Yu's eyes, he is a man who is arrogant, domineering, and invincible, but at the same time bears a bit of tsunere. That man deserves to be subdued by himself. Chapter 43. The giant wooden golem appears. Seeking monthly ticket, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation. Advertisement. Thinking of something, Lan Yu spoke. Go back and tell Uchiha Madara that his Rinnegan was thrown into the urn by me. FK. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu were stunned. They said, they just saw Nagato. Although he has grown up a lot, he recognizes it, but his eyes are not Rinnegan. Lan Yu looked expectantly in his eyes. If you want, let Uchiha Madara personally come and get it. Is this to bring Madara over? What is the other party going to do? Black Zetsu's expression became heavier. White Zetsu wiped his sweat, weakly speaking, I put it in the urn for so many days, will it smell bad? Black Zetsu's face was dark, he knew it, he hadn't experimented yet. It stands to reason that ordinary eyes will rot a long time ago if they are not protected. But that is Rinnegan, maybe it can last a few more days? Lan Yu drank a tea ceremony. After watching the show, you will leave again. Is it me? Listening to you, not you. Black Zetsu's heart is shaken. I was afraid that White Zetsu would leave and let him stay. White Zetsu immediately stood up straight. Of course it's you. Is it useful to keep you? Seeing you are dark, you won't be able to find you in the middle of the night. Roll. Black Zetsu was cold-eyed, and he was relieved to see Lan Yu didn't refute. This guy, Lan Yu suddenly felt that he was in a good mood. If you let White Zetsu go, Black Zetsu will definitely kill it right away. After all, White Zetsu knows his true identity. Must be murdered. Anyway, White Zetsu is just a human being immersed in infinite Tsukuyomi in ancient times. Extracted from the ghetto statue, Kaguya's army. However, Lan Yu still thinks this White Zetsu is quite interesting, and perhaps it is boring to bring it up again. He can enter the Imperial Intelligence Team. Since it is useful, stay. Lan Yu directly released the Lingza space, and then Black Zetsu found that he had returned to the outside world, but he didn't dare to move at all. I'm very sure that Lan Yu has the ability to kill himself, and Black Zetsu doesn't want to cause trouble. At the same time, the battle between Onoki and Orochimaru continues. This third Tsuchikage is simply tyrannical and unreasonable, making it impossible to start. This guy is too strong. It's hard to make a straight attack. He wants to end the battle as soon as possible. Tsunade said, looking at Orochimaru. The sacred text of Tsunade. Power, although it can blast through the atmosphere and erupt a terrible shockwave, like a humanoid beast, it is difficult to hit the big wild wood flying around. And Jiraiya holy text. Love, you need to attack the opponent to be effective. Onogi is too cautious to fight. Lan Yu told them that the first element of the Quincy. Even if you are a companion, you can't speak out your own sacred writing ability casually. Like in many animes, many people fight and want to explain each of their abilities word by word. Don't understand, do it again? Lan Yu wanted to spit out and die. When the difference in strength is not particularly large, intelligence is life. You said it all because you didn't think you died fast enough. Advertisement. But since you are a companion, you will always understand a little bit, and you will also understand a lot in the daily duel exercises. So Tsunade and Jiraiya had some guesses about Orochimaru's sacred writing ability. Seeing the two people's eyes, Orochimaru licked his mouth and smiled evilly. I like my holy script very much, because imagination is the truth. For the ability bestowed by His Majesty, Orochimaru expressed his love. Scientists don't need too much strength, but Orochimaru believes that this ability must be the strongest in the future. Why don't you do it? Sarutobi Hiruzen has taught these three wastes. Anamu's mouth was merciless, but his heart had been wary to the extreme. The fighting style of the three is completely different from that of ninjas. Onogi, who understands that intelligence is life, doesn't want to capsize in the gutter. Immediately opened the distance, and quickly formed a seal attack. Ready to show off the dust, sent away in a wave, late. Orochimaru's eyes were cold, and he didn't even lift his hands. Dozens of tiny needles appeared in front of Oyemu out of thin air, revealing a sharp air, and suddenly frightened Oyemu. Give up Jia Yin and dodge quickly. How did these needles appear? Oyemu frowned. He didn't see any traces of flying at all, as if he appeared out of thin air. Can they still create things out of thin air? What? Oyemu, who had just avoided the needle, suddenly felt the sky dark, and suddenly looked back and his eyes widened. This is impossible. Amidst a roar, I saw very thick giant trees rushing out of the ground, growing crazily. In the blink of an eye, a wooden golem with a height of nearly 100 meters was formed. Looked down at him like a mountain. Wooden golem? Wood style? Senju Hashirama? For a time, Onoki's thoughts were in confusion. Swish swish. The branches of the sky blocked Oyemu in all directions, and when Oyemu lost his mind, the huge wooden golem slapped it down with a slap. Bang. Seeing nowhere to hide, Oyemu only had time to use the hardening technique that he could cast by omitting the seal, and then he was smashed into the ground. For a time, Rock Shinobi, who was on the smaller half of the battlefield, stopped moving. He stared at the huge wooden golem dumbfounded. Tsunade raised his eyebrows when he saw this. You can play well, Orochimaru. With that said, Tsunade couldn't help but lose his mind. Although this is not a wood style, this wooden golem really has the style of first generation. Jiraiya smiled. To be honest, I am a novelist, and my imagination is not bad. Why don't you change it? Idiot, do you spoil you? Although Orochimaru is also interested in Jiraiya's abilities, his abilities are simply too suitable for him. It is a waste to fight. Chapter 44. Give you the title of Sanin, seeking monthly ticket, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation. Advertisement, chance. Seeing Onoki hit the ground, Orochimaru rushed over without hesitation. Damn it, what is this? Oyemu, who was just about to get up, felt that there were many invisible barriers around him, and there seemed to be a small invisible cage. Next moment, Onoki broke out of the blockade with all his strength. Unfortunately, I still don't have the ability to adapt. The cage of fantasy is not strong enough, but a moment is enough. During the words, Orochimaru disappeared in place. The next moment he rushed to Onoki, who had just gone up, and kicked it. Boom boom boom. Onoki didn't have time to perform ninjutsu, but his physical skills were very strong. In an instant, he played dozens of times against Orochimaru, and even kicked Orochimaru away. Is this really wood style? Only then did Onoki raise his head again to look at the huge wooden golem, his eyes solemn. Yes, scared, Jiraiya said, directly projecting the medium-sized divine destruction. At the same moment, the Tsunade below made a fist with his right hand, and his whole body was violently vigorous, and with an extremely violent posture, he blasted Onoki with another punch. Weird force blasting. Holy text. Strength burst out. The force of horror squeezed the air crazily, and Tsunade fists burst out with shockwaves like the sky and the earth. Also at this moment, Orochimaru lying on the ground gave a strange smile. It's done. Did he do something? Although Jiraiya and Tsunade's attacks were sharp, Onoki caught a glimpse of Orochimaru's smile, and immediately felt inwardly. There is always a sense of imminent disaster. No, this guy must die. In the next moment, Onoki evaded the attack at a very fast speed and swooped towards Orochimaru. Despair under the dust. Dust escape boundary stripping technique. Seeing that Orochimaru hadn't gone up yet, Onoki finally caught the counterattack and turned and folded his hands together. In a blink of an eye, the entire gloomy sky was illuminated by endless white light, and a huge white beam of light was blasted out directly in front of Oyemu. Quite a few people stepped in and looked over. Boom. In an instant, hundreds of meters in the range of Orochimaru turned into dust. Oyemu looked at the big bottomless hole that was blasted out, full of surprise. He could definitely attack Orochimaru, and he didn't have any breath. It's that simple. Dead. Suddenly a little agitated what was going on, Oyemu laughed at himself. Isn't it normal to kill a kid with his strength? I'm getting old. Even the three young people almost didn't get it right. Fortunately, the old man was even better and won the first kill. Ha ha ha, did you see that? Master Tsuchikage killed one. Rock Shinobi caught a glimpse of this scene and were pleasantly surprised. Kushina and Mikoto frowned slightly, and then they attacked harder. Since Orochimaru is dead, go and die, advertisement. On the other hand, the Conan trio played against Han, what felt that the half-tailed animalization had a trend toward complete-tailed animalization. It can be said that the group of 8 killed too many ninjas, which put a lot of pressure on Rock Shinobi. But Oyemu's first kill gave them incomparable confidence. Listen well. Onoki hugged his arm, glanced below and spoke proudly. Young people, you were very good. Although you will die soon, you are also worth remembering and being praised by the shinobi world. I, 3rd Tsuchikage, give you the title of Sanin. Tsunade, Jiraiya, Lan Yu couldn't help laughing. Didn't get the title from Hanzo, but got it from 3rd Tsuchikage instead? Is it the irresistible inertia of history, or the fate of the legendary arrangement? Mikoto and Kushina were robbed by him. Could it be that Uchiha Hidikoto and Uzumaki Nanako came out? At this moment, Konoha Village. Shuken. What a strange name, she is Mikoto's big cousin. In the Uchiha clan, Fugaku frowned slightly and looked at the girl who was working hard in the field. Somewhat dissatisfied, compared to Mikoto, this girl is just pretty. The most important thing is character, Mikoto's standard good wife and mother, and Shuken loves fighting too much. Before opening his eyes, Fugaku felt that he couldn't beat her. Fugaku's father, who was ousted from the position of patriarch by his son, couldn't help but said, even if you have those eyes, don't be too arrogant. The Uchiha clan is not our final say. You must maintain a good relationship with each elder. Among the younger generation, Shuken is the most suitable wife to be your future wife, understand? Fugaku was silent, and clenched his hands unconsciously. Only when the patriarch, I know how ridiculous the so-called private hatred is. Fugaku has grown a lot with the responsibility of entraining a clan to rise up. Go, and have a good relationship with Shuken. I will marry her in a few years. Good. Fugaku was finally defeated by reality. He now understands what interests are, what is family, and what is inheritance. On the other side, the ninja school. Nanako, are you still missing your cousin? At the same time, in the senior class, Namikaze Minato looked at the red-haired girl beside her and couldn't help but speak. Kushina and Nanako entered the village together, but Kushina was taught by Uzumaki Mito, which was a few days later than Nanako's admission. But just for a few days, Namikaze Minato's heart was filled with Nanako. Because this girl has a very soft temperament and is very good at taking care of people. Uzumaki Nanako nodded, eyes red. I have never been separated from my cousin since I was a kid, and she has been protecting me. Relax, Kushina will be fine. Namikaze Minato could only comfort him, but made a decision in his heart. It is necessary to graduate as soon as possible. Only in this way can you quickly become stronger. Protect the village, protect Nanako. Lan Yu, Chapter 45, Fantasy Creation, God's Power, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Evaluation, Seeking Monthly Pass. Advertisement. Lan Yu didn't know this, and was still observing the battlefield. Sanin. What an ironic title. Jiraiya and Tsunade were indifferent, glanced at the disappearing Orochimaru slightly, and then continued to attack Onoki. Small sacred arrow. Seeing that the two began to move again, Oyumu's eyes were full of sneers. Don't struggle in vain, none of the three are qualified, let alone the two of you, poof. But Oyemu, who was preaching his might, suddenly felt pain in his body and lost control, and then he was hit by a small holy arrow in his shoulder. Damn it, what happened? Onoki's body was crumbling. Even the flight is difficult to control, and can only fall on the ground, staring at a few people from a distance. He felt that most of his bones were broken, but this is completely impossible, he was not injured at all before. It's just killing an entity clone that I imagined, is it worth your excitement? There was a sneer, and Onoki was terrified. Orochimaru, who should have died, walked out of another shadow, unscathed. Orochimaru looked at the painful Onoki and licked his mouth with excitement. What a powerful ability, as long as my imagination is enough, all truth will be realized. Puff, as Orochimaru spoke, Onoki became weaker and knelt directly on the ground. The feeling that most of the body's bones are broken, it doesn't seem to be an illusion. Oyemu looked fiercely. Damn it, what the hell did you do to me? Orochimaru raised his hand with a sacred arrow to kill the ninja who came to help, and then spoke indifferently. Don't pretend that I tell you, you can only do nothing, wait for death. Holy writing ability. Dreamer, also known as visionary. Visionary. Turn the imagination in your mind into reality instantly. This ability can create objects out of thin air, but cannot destroy or transform objects out of thin air, unless the object is created by their imagination. Orochimaru said that this ability is the strongest. Not because of combat effectiveness, but as a scientist, this ability is too perfect. Turn fantasy into reality. How big the brain hole is, how strong is the ability. Create space. The owner of this ability in the original book created a space in the universe and imprisoned Zaraki Kenpachi. Inorganic creation. What wooden golem, meteorites, magma, sea of fire, mountains, high-rise buildings, etc. are all okay. Create life. Whether it is a human or a plant, it can be created by imagination. Create superpowers. Imagine superpowers, give yourself, such as mind power, teleportation, etc. Even Sharingan is possible, and even the ability to create blood. All of the above are achievable by visionaries. Not only that. Any object created by fantasy can be destroyed by Orochimaru in an instant. More able to touch damage. Touch other objects, you can use your imagination to damage them. The reason why Onoki was hit hard was due to contact during the physical confrontation and Orochimaru's fantasy. The premise is that Onokisuna is sealed off with a cage of Lingza, otherwise Onoki will never get close to Orochimaru. Fantasy Ono wood bones shattered, realize in an instant. The only limitation is not to be distracted, to stay calm at all times, and not to imagine beyond the body's capacity. Lan Yu, who was watching from afar, had to say that this ability was really buggy. However, this ability in imagination has its limits, and some things that are too huge cannot be created by their own imagination alone. Advertisement. But you can create some avatars first, imagine together, and create after you increase your imagination. Lan Yu, who has undergone the baptism of information technology, can say one thing. This is definitely an ability that anyone in any place dreams of. Fantasy creation has too much potential. It can even break the boundary between life and death, the barrier between where and the gods. The reason why Lan Yu gave Orochimaru the visionary ability was not for him to fight. Put it on scientific research, the time machine may give you a fantasy. After all, if you fight, there are people in the empire. But when the empire's military power is sufficient, people's livelihood must first be considered. People's livelihood technology is very important. Lan Yu. There will be computers decades later, I can't wait. I like this ability too. Lan Yu once thought about a problem. The members of the Star-Crossed Knights have so many concept-level abilities. Will Yhwach himself? You know, the so-called sacred writing ability, it comes from his soul distribution. It is part of the power that has been separated from oneself and bestowed it out, so it can be recovered with sanctification. If you have all the abilities of your subordinates, then it is impossible to fail. Because of the codename, M, the symbol of ability is a miracle. The miracle of immortality, but obviously, Yhwach is not immortal. This is strange. I don't know the holy text that my soul gives away. It doesn't make sense at all. If there is a plenum, you can't even do a plot kill. Lan Yu can only think like this. If Yu has all the power of holy characters, then the protagonist group will not be able to open or hang up. So Shinigami's original work does not have this setting. But this is the difference between my omniscience and omnipotence. Lan Yu smiled suddenly, making the black-white Zetsu trembling. After awakening omniscience and omnipotence at the beginning, Lan Yu discovered that he was different from Yhwach. Not only does it remove some of the limitations in the original work. The main thing, he can use the sacred text ability endowed by Lan Yu by relying on omniscience and omnipotence. Evolution caused by Hōgyoku. Collect all the holy scripts in one body. The subordinates will, Lan Yu will, what a horror. Truly, the power of God. Chapter 46. Third Tsuchikage, die, seeking flowers, seeking monthly pass, seeking evaluation. Advertisement through the continuous strengthening of bonus points. The omniscience and omnipotence in the name can become the true omniscience and omnipotence in the future. It can be said, he can now create some characters in the Shinigami world through the ability of a visionary. But such a creation is meaningless. Not only that, his Hōgyoku also seems to have no limits. This means that if Lan Yu keeps evolving and becomes strong enough, it is possible to create the Otherworld channel, forcibly attack other worlds. Even create the world from nothing, a true creation and becoming a god. Most of your bones are broken by me, don't you want to give up? Orochimaru walked slowly and said coldly. Jiraiya leaned over and said, would you like to feel my love? His attack just now was an additional holy text, love. Those who are attacked by Jiraiya's power will obey him and be controlled by him. Onoki was hit, so severely hit, he could be manipulated by Jiraiya. You underestimate me. Feeling that he was getting weaker and weaker, Oyemu exhausted his last strength and released a terrible monster. Earth-style Gang Lee-style technique. A huge rock giant appeared and directly raised his right hand to protect Onoki in his hand. Running fast, Onoki's last cry came out. Rock Shinobi obeyed, mission failed. Everyone withdraw to the village, run away. In an instant, Rock Shinobi were all dumbfounded. But when they looked back, they saw a scene of extreme horror. The shockwave of Tsunade's power burst into the right hand of the giant rock giant. Boom! In a roar, the arm of the rock giant was blown away. Half of his hand fell from the air and Onoki was in it. I got a title anyway, to express my gratitude. Empire Sanin, see you off. A spiritual blade appeared in the hands of Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade. Fei Linzhou appeared in front of Oyemu instantly. Seeing the three of them stab them with knives, Oyemu, whose bones were torn apart, his eyes flushed, and he screamed hard. Flee! Run away! The three of them pierced a knife into Onoki's body without stopping. Seal the throat with one knife, a stab at the heart. Cut through the head, suddenly cut off all the vitality of Onoki. I saw Onoki's bloodshot eyes, filled with unwillingness and despair, gradually dimming. Third Tsuchikage, die. At this moment, it seems that everyone has stopped. Rock Shinobi felt their sky collapsed. Guru, third Tsuchikage, dead? The secret spies were all dumbfounded. Advertisement. This is the shadow of a village. There are only 5 people in the entire ninja world who are qualified to be called shadows, and the others are all self-satisfied. How sturdy the Onoki was before. No matter how much the Orochimaru 3 attacked, they couldn't hurt them at all, fully showing the demeanor of the shadows. But in the blink of an eye, just died like this? Wow, that's scary. White Zetsu was shivering. Lan Yu is the big devil, and his subordinates are all small devil. Black Zetsu was extremely heavy, he couldn't understand it. How did Orochimaru pit Onoki? Even he can't understand it, so to speak. If you change to Uchiha Madara in its heyday, you may be killed. It's impossible. Master Tsuchikage. Kill. Revenge for Master Tsuchikage. For a while, all Rock Shinobi went crazy. In the original work, Onoki got through the blog post. Due to his old age and physical decline, he died desperately to suppress the artificial rebellion. But now it's only during World War II, when Onoki was at its peak, his death was enough to cause a sensation in the ninja world. Hokage ninja. The blogger tells me a shit, why do you mention it? Dead. Go and die. The Rock Shinobi attacked desperately, and various ninjutsu flew all over the sky. There were also Rock Shinobi who sensibly wanted to withdraw to the village, but involuntarily, their rage was ignited. It's a pity that the realm of Fei Lian's feet and static bloodsuit Kajang is in. The possibility of hurting the group of 8 is too small. Especially when Onoki died, the 3 Orochimaru joined the massacre without hesitation. Rock Shinobi can only become a lamb to be slaughtered. Roar. The death of Onoki also greatly stimulated Han. The half-tailed animal body began to swell rapidly, and chakra gushed out like crazy. In a blink of an eye there appeared a pure white beast that seemed to be a fusion of a dolphin and a horse. 5 tails Kakuzu. What a big monster. The Conan trio with the least experience, suddenly saw such a huge tail beast, could not help but stay. They are like an ant, they can only look up at the horror of Kakuzu. Roar. The moment Kakuzu appeared, his mouth began to condense tailed beast bomb. Not good. Feeling its powerful destructive energy, the spiritual power on Yahiko's body exudes extremely hot heat. The finger of burning fire. Yahiko accumulated extremely hot heat in the index finger of his right hand. Immediately afterwards, an astonishing flame column was shot into Kokuo's mouth, like a small laser cannon. Holy Writing Ability. Searing. The elemental power attack ability can transform the soul into ultra-high temperature flames for various forms of attacks. If Yahiko grows up, its destructive power will be comparable to Shikai of Yamamoto's, Ryujin Jaka. Of course, it is only comparable to Shikai. However, as long as Yahiko is strong enough, searing will be stronger, depending on his own strength. Boom. The scorching flame directly penetrated the uncondensed tailed beast bomb. It made Kakuo feel a strong pain, and the roar became louder. Han, things are not good, I suggest you go back to the village immediately, asterisk. Chapter 47. Everything is connected, rewrite the future, seeking flowers, seeking monthly pass, seeking evaluation. Advertisement, why? It was conscious that Han turned to complete tail animalization. At this moment, the grief-stricken Han just wanted to kill all the group of 8, and then rushed into the country of rain to kill them. Kokuo's voice is heavy, their attacks carry energy that hurts the soul. If this goes on, I will probably die, the kind that can't be resurrected. 5 Tails Kakuo is very stable, changed to the stupid big one at 1 Tail, who had already let go of 2 ruthless words yelling, and didn't turn his head back. Dangerous. A strong sense of lethality spread all over his body. When Kakuo quickly backed away, he caught a glimpse of a figure in the distance. Holding a strangely shaped weapon in his hand. Weapon. Hello, I am a sniper rifle. Shura Dao Pain said that he has tracking missiles, laser cannons, rockets, and even mechanical armor. Tailed beasts are not creatures, but they have souls. One time is not enough, then many times. Nagato was holding a Lingza sniper rifle and aimed at the huge tail beast. Holy Writing Ability. Everything goes through. All things penetrate. Everything you touch on the 2-point and 1-line forward track between the muzzle and the target will be penetrated. There is no way to counteract or defend against such power. More than that, this ability also has a short-term invincible state, and any attack is invalidated. There is almost no limit to the development of this ability. Sufficient combat wisdom can give it unparalleled strength. Concept level ability. In the original book, the ability belongs to the captain of the Yhwach's guard team, Liji Bero, who claims to be the highest masterpiece of his majesty and the man closest to God. If Nagato develops the Eucharist, there will be no need for weapon assistance. The body can be used to issue a destructive attack that penetrates everything, destroying everything. Roar. In the next moment, without seeing any movement of Nagato, a hole appeared directly on 5 Tails Kokuo's body. From the front, you can see the mountains behind you from the entrance of the cave, which completely penetrates. Silent. A completely invisible concept attack. Die. Nagato shoots one after another. Several holes appeared again on his body, and Kakuo couldn't help but feel terrified. Horrible human. This kind of attack cannot be defended at all, there is no sound, and no one can even see what is coming out of the muzzle. It seemed to just take a glance, he was penetrated. The additional soul damage made Kokuo's breath weak. Han, I am too big, run away. Kakuo returned to Han's body, and the moment Han returned to his human form, Han fled without thinking. Ran casually found a direction and did not run towards the village. It was too late to say anything to Rock Shinobi, after all, Nagato's sniping was too terrifying. A pause is death. Hot, Yahiko's hands condensed an extremely powerful flame. When the lacing went out, a small sea of fire was formed, and it swept towards Han frantically. Steam burst. Advertisement. With the help of the tail beast chakra, Han exerted his steam power to the limit. The tyrannical speed directly caused the illusion of teleportation, which appeared hundreds of meters away in the next instant. Run to the limit. But the next moment, a beautiful shadow with closed eyes stood in front of Han. It seems to be waiting here very early. I've been waiting for you for a long time. When Han suddenly stopped, Conan's eyes opened suddenly. Hi, this is. Han suddenly felt tight, as if he had seen a terrifying abyss. Facing Conan's eyes, Han's soul trembled uncontrollably. Conan's originally pale orange pupils are now blood red. There was more than one pupil, and after a closer look, there were multiple blood red pupils appearing in the eyes, like demon-like pupils. Looking at each other slightly, Han felt like a piece of white paper, all the secrets were seen through. For an instant, his forehead was covered with fine sweat, and his body stopped. Your journey ends here, it's up to me to rewrite your death. Conan whispered like a god, not seeing her making any movements. When the words have not yet fallen, puff chick chick. Dozens of blood spattered from Han's body. I saw that his whole person was directly torn into pieces. Blood splattered, corpses all over the ground. When Han's head fell, his eyes had only one look. Fear. What happened? After Onoki's death, Han was regarded as the focus of attention, and many people were stunned again at this moment. It is also an incomprehensible ability. The time Orochimaru severely injured Onoki, there is still a slight possibility that he can be guessed. But Conan, it was tens of meters away from Han, and there was no movement. Han became a broken corpse? Just glanced in the crowd? No, how did this woman know that Han would run in that direction and intercept it halfway in advance? Is it a coincidence or something? Call. Conan closed his eyes again, opened his light orange pupils and let out a deep breath. Lord Lan Yu's power is too strong. Conan had a lingering fear at the moment. She just used a little bit of strength, and she felt the shock that she couldn't speak. That is the power that belongs to God. it is different from Hazard because he is the half-body of Yhwach, where he has the ability to share. Only after he has been trained by Yhwach can he use his abilities. And they can only exchange power with them after nightfall. Conan can borrow its abilities when Lan Yu is not in use. And because of Conan's sacred world harmony, she can avoid borrowing too strong and hurting herself. Its ability is omniscient and omnipotent, foresee the future. Rewrite the future. Asterisk chapter 48. Mangekyo, ending Eucharist, seeking flowers, seeking monthly pass, seeking evaluation. Advertisement: a killing has begun. This is an evolution of killing. With the deaths of Onoki and Five Tails Jinchuriki, rock shinobi became sheep. Except for a few who fled madly because of fear, most rock shinobi kept attacking in anger. After all, there is no way to escape. Without the threat of the shadow and the tail beast, the group of 8 launched a terrible killing. Large divine destruction, multiple sacred arrows. Arrows in the sky continuously set off explosions on the battlefield, taking away the rock shinobi. Gradually, rock shinobi all felt desperate, but they never had a chance to escape. Hiss. The spies in the dark completely lost their voices. This battle will sensationalize the ninja world in an unprecedented way and will be included in the history of the entire ninja world. Especially when they noticed that the 8-man group was getting stronger and stronger, many spies ran away in fright, for fear of being affected. Okay, let's leave. In the shadow, Lan Yu waved to Black Zetsu. But Black Zetsu couldn't help but glanced at the dead Five Tails Jinchuriki. At the moment of Han's death, Lan Yu moved him far away with spiritual power, and spread his right hand to hold on to something. Black Zetsu always feels frizzy. People are dead, what are you doing? But Black Zetsu didn't dare to wait any longer, and got out quickly. White Zetsu stood trembling on the spot, wanted to enliven the atmosphere. But after Black Zetsu left, he realized how much pressure was standing beside Lan Yu. It's bigger than Madara's side. White Zetsu wants to cry without tears. Madara-sama won't kill me, so you don't have to, ooh. 3-tailed beasts. Plus Onogi and more than 10,000 ninjas, 90% of the soul energy. Lan Yu accumulated energy and closed his eyes. The soul energy of tens of thousands of people. The knowledge, experience, skills and talents of tens of thousands of people. These have been absorbed by Lan Yu, strengthening Lan Yu in all directions, great horror. Greatly enhanced Lan Yu's combat level, it has also created a strong foundation for him, and the use of energy is more like a fish in water. Buzzing. Suddenly, the group of 8 had a physical meal. As if a kind of shackles were broken away, their respective auras rose straight up. A wave of powerful Ryotsu was released on the battlefield, making rock shinobi completely frightened. The level has moved from elite Jonin level to cage level. This was in exchange for a sea of blood and corpse mountain. Wow, Sister Makoto, your eyes are so beautiful. Conan glanced inadvertently and was immediately attracted by Uchiha Makoto's red pupils like a windmill. Others also looked over. Tsunade was surprised. Mangekyo? Advertisement. Well, Mangekyo. Uchiha Makoto is also a little happy at the moment. Although the Quincy is strong, Mangekyo is the glory of the Uchiha clan. She can feel the 2 abilities that are boarded in pupil surgery. Increased spiritual power in the left eye, increased Ryotsu in the right eye. It's not very special, but it surprises Makoto enough, not to mention Susanoo's Uchiha logo. The increase in level will automatically upgrade her bloodline ability. And there are no side effects, she can use her spiritual power to use Mangekyo and nurture it. The next level increase will make it evolve again. End. Holy. Body. Kushina yelled 3 words unwillingly. Conan and others couldn't help being surprised and envious. A huge Ryotsu skyrocketed, and the surrounding earth was torn apart every inch, and the Ryotsu on Kushina's body was actually destroying everything. And Kushina herself floated even more, flying into the air. A 5-pointed star appears on the top of the head, and the back is stretched out with wings that are separated from the ends of the souls. Feel free to fly in the air. Lingza shot. Kushina, who has completely liberated his ability, shoots a large-scale spiritual ball from the ends of the wings. Boom boom boom. There are countless light bullets in the sky, blowing up everything touched by the light ball and destroying it. One by one rock shinobi died under the light bomb. The rest of the people shot together. I don't know how long it took. The whole battlefield became quiet, to be precise, 2 hours, from beginning to end. Except for a few rock shinobi who escaped from Onoki's death, all the others died in battle. A sea of blood is not enough to evaluate this war. Even if it spreads out, it is hard for anyone to believe it. After all, 8 people destroyed more than 10,000 ninjas and killed the shadow. How can you listen to it? Need to kill them? At this moment, Yahiko couldn't help looking at their respective dark places, where the detectives of various countries and villages were located. Conan and Nagato are also a bit murderous, their eyes red. The same goes for Kushina and Makoto. Jiraiya frowned slightly. Don't be controlled by murderous aura, let alone become a slave to power. Control all your power. Murderous intent exists. Under the original trajectory, Orochimaru's murderous intent made Urzuzi tremble. But just because of existence, if the Shinshin is insufficient, it is easy to get lost. They are all too small. Although they seem to be 18 or 9 years old, they are not mature enough in their hearts. Tsunade represents a group of children. Even Tsunade almost ran away. After all, killing becomes stronger, which is like a demon's ability. If you kill too much, you can't control your consciousness at all, you can only work hard to keep calm. Orochimaru suggested. Go ahead, you fight with all your strength, don't use the holy script ability until you are weak. As soon as the words fell, a few people started fighting. The battlefield that had just been quiet, roared again and again. Seeing this scene, the spies secretly cursed lunatics and left here one after another. This is the territory of the land of the earth. There is no need to clean up the battlefield, so leave it to them. Soon someone will come to collect the corpse, and there will be no plague. Chapter 49. Creating our country, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement at the same time. Lan Yu opened his eyes, no sorrow or joy. Well, if you kill all the tail beasts, it should be enough. Lan Yu didn't reach the 6 paths level. Lan Yu was not disappointed. The amount was sufficient, but it did not cause a qualitative change. But Lan Yu was not in a hurry, because from this moment on, this ninja world has never killed or even defeated his power. The experience, knowledge and talents of tens of thousands of people are beyond ordinary people's imagination. Lan Yu has a better understanding of all his own powers such as spiritual power and ryotsu. And intend to innovate. Many basic ninjutsu are very good and can be transformed into the Quincy system. For example, 8 inner gates, Flying Thunder God, Shadow Clone and so on. Flying Thunder God is very useful, leaving the coordinates to be able to teleport over long distances. Or large-scale transmission, which is of strategic significance. There is also a seal technique. If Lan Yu creates a new skill unique to the Quincy, this will not only enhance his use of energy, but also enrich the abilities of the Quincy. Innovation equals progress. Lan Yu doesn't want to keep standing still. Lan Yu whispered after looking at the bear children who were dispersing energy. 2 hours have passed, and it's noon. Invisible Empire, it's time to form. The heart of the original Rain Country, almost all civilians and ninjas arrived early, and at a glance, they were crowded. Many people have waited for a long time, but they are not impatient at all. I don't even know about Rock Shinobi's invasion, and he was killed by the group of 8. Today's weather is really good, it is rare that it does not rain, and countless people are bathed in sunshine and enjoy the rare peace. Huh? What is that? Many people were surprised to find that there seemed to be a black spot on the sun. But when the black spot gets bigger and bigger, everyone understands that this is not an illusion. It appeared in the sky like a black light, and then it continued to grow. It's dark. The utter darkness swept the sky in an instant. As if swallowing all the light, the originally bright Rain Country was instantly dimmed, with the power of an abyss descending. Suddenly caused a huge panic. Hi, what is that? Outside the original rain, countless people looked at the sky shrouded in darkness. It was a huge black mask with a deadly color, stunned countless people. When countless people panicked, there was a steady and powerful voice. My name is Lan Yu, the Lord of the Invisible Empire. It was Master Lan Yu. This voice directly calmed everyone's tension. The spies from all over the world felt cold all over. What kind of power it was that turned the whole country black? On the tallest building in the center, even in the extreme darkness, the eyes of Orochimaru and others looked at Lan Yu ahead brightly. Master Lan Yu. No, you are the Emperor of the Invisible Empire. Advertisement Conan and the others all knelt down and lowered their heads. Please guide us, Your Majesty. Lan Yu looked at the people below, with an indescribable heroism in her heart. An ordinary person becomes a king in 6 months. This mental journey is like a roller coaster. He didn't know what the mentality of Yhwach to found a country was like. Perhaps it was a mentality of playing with everything in the world, seeing everything as ants, and the so-called people were not in his eyes at all. Friends Yhwach, arrogant and ruthless. How powerful is the Star-Crossed Knights? Almost every member is not weaker than the captain level, and even many of them are enough to kill the captain level Shinigami in seconds, and the Zero team can't stop it. But what kind of majesty there are just kinds of subordinates. Most of them are like Yhwach, arrogant, ruthless and extremely conceited. There are a lot of wonderful perverts, and many of them are cheated to death by their own conceit. And Yhwach is even more ruthless. Holy, the Star-Crossed Knights are all destroyed. In the invisible empire of New Oda, only himself was killed by Yhwach alone. Faced with Aizen and the protagonist group alone, he was taken away with a knife. Of course, although it was mainly pitted to death by his younger brother Hazard, he really couldn't be too ruthless to be the king. So many awesome little brothers, all killed by you alone. If you don't die, who will die? The typical case of Yhwach reminds Lan Yu not to be too arrogant and ruthless. Just hand it over to the younger brother. Anyway, he can be resurrected even if he is dead. Or occasionally go out to pretend to be forced, isn't it fragrant? Stand behind me and witness the path I have traveled. First of all, Lan Yu slowly raised his hand. An indescribable huge spiritual power swept out, touching the souls of the entire Rain Country. Create our country. Click. In the next moment, the darkness shattered and the light appeared. The extremely dazzling spiritual power swayed the earth, and the entire original Rain Country trembled. Countless people watched the horrible scene dumbfounded. Boom! I saw that all the buildings I saw were collapsing. Like mountains and rivers broken, there is destruction everywhere. That tyrannical force tears everything apart. Everyone was stunned. Everything that is broken is floating. This is... Kushina and others behind Lan Yu were also shocked. Didn't you say good Zhongo? They thought that His Majesty was going to announce the establishment of an invisible empire to everyone. Then organize people to carry out a major transformation of the country of rain and establish a new order. It will take a long time, maybe 10 years or decades. When the empire is stabilized, show off its ambition to swallow the ninja world. But their majesty doesn't play that way at all. He destroyed everything in the country by himself. Lingza Cluster. Chapter 50. Invisible Empire, Real World City, seeking flowers, seeking monthly pass, seeking evaluation. Advertisement, Lingza Cluster. In the next moment, Lan Yu controlled Lingza to carry out a nationwide transformation. Under the shocking eyes of countless people, those broken buildings and earth, etc. Everything is reorganizing. But in the blink of an eye, new buildings and streets were formed all over the eyes. And where there in the center, a huge square is formed. If someone looks at it from a high altitude, it will definitely be horrified. The empire that was originally in ruins, suddenly, an endless building body appeared, neat and uniform. Boom! With a loud noise, in front of the square, a huge building group of hundreds of meters tall was condensed from the void on the ground, full of luxury and magnificence. As if there is, world center. Hiss! Countless people sucked in cold air and lost their voices completely. Within half a minute, it seemed that in the blink of an eye, the whole world was different. The chaotic and messy land of Rain has turned into a huge city at this moment, with all the buildings in order and wide streets. Full of medieval Western European style, but also with the charm of the ancient Oriental country. The spectacular is dizzying. How? What a great existence. The civilians are still shocked, and the ninjas are already shaking. Legend has it that when Konoha was first built, in order to reduce resource consumption, first Hokage built countless wooden houses for Konoha with extremely powerful wood style. Then, as the times change, constantly repairing and rebuilding, it will look like it is now. And Lan Yu, let them lose their voices. With my own power, a huge city spread all over the country of Rain, and it is so beautiful and luxurious. Buildings are generally several stories high, and the most central location is the Imperial Base Camp, which is hundreds of meters high. There is the center of power, more like the center of the world. At this moment, many spies from other countries were shaken. There is an urge to kneel down at Lan Yu's feet and give her heart. One can imagine how crazy the people of the empire should be today. Long live Lord Lan Yu. Go away, that's the lord of a country, you have to be called a big name. You just got out, the name is a fart, haven't you read the announcement? That's your majesty the invisible empire? Yes, yes, long live your majesty. Go to hell you, your majesty is a god, an immortal existence. Ah, the empire is immortal, your majesty is immortal. Countless imperial civilians and ninjas went crazy. Kneeling down on the ground one after another, shouting hysterical shouts, even spread far and wide. The establishment of the invisible empire instantly allowed countless people to find their belongings. And the great invisible empire, his majesty, it has become in the hearts of countless people. Always drop God, his majesty. In the vast hall of the tallest building in the center, Orochimaru and others were shaking. Everyone was speechlessly full of excitement, and the words in their minds were lacking. I can't find any word to express my feelings. This city will soon become the cornerstone of New World. Advertisement Lan Yu sits on the gorgeous throne, hands on both sides, his tone is full of expectation and strong ambition. The only one, the real world, true world city. Let's call it that. Real world city is called this city because of its commitment to the future. Listen carefully. Lan Yu. Do you want my treasure? Come on, I put everything here. True world city. The human body like Makoto knows this word. They heard the undisguised ambition from it, that was the ambition to step on everything in the ninja world. Fantasy creation. A white cloud appeared on Lan Yu's hand. Fantasy endowed. Soul. Fantasy endowed, weather control. Soon, to everyone's astonishment, the white cloud flew up. You can even see the eyes and mouth on the white clouds, which are so cute. Ehoo, your majesty is eternal and immortal. Bai Yun's voice is very crisp, like a cute little girl. Really want. Seeing this, Kushina, Makoto, Tsunade and Conan all showed their favorite expressions. It must be very comfortable to hold this white cloud. Seeing this, Lan Yu is not stingy. Waves of white clouds with 4 eyes of different colors fell beside the 4 women. The eyes of the 4 women suddenly brightened. Thank your majesty. Lan Yu stroked Bai Yun and said, Go, the invisible empire cannot be a crying country. Ehoo, I know your majesty. Bai Yun circled around everyone happily and rushed into the sky. It can become stronger by constantly absorbing the spirit child, and control the weather of the invisible empire. Bring good weather to the empire. Lan Yu doesn't like the weather here. It's okay to rain, but Tenten, who can bear it? Sure enough, I'm still far behind. Orochimaru watched Lan Yu's operation quietly. He can't create a similar life form now, let alone directly endow it with superpowers. White Zetsu has not recovered until now, and suddenly exclaimed. Wow, so invincible, your majesty, you are bigger than Madara. Cough cough, stronger than Uchiha Madara. Of course. Conan spoke proudly, his eyes full of admiration. Others looked at White Zetsu more, where did this guy come from? How silly it looks, but then again, this city is really big. Kushina murmured, eyes flashing with excitement, she wanted to go shopping. Is Konoha big? Many people will have the illusion of being a small village? But it's actually really big, it's just that the animation didn't show up. The description of the size of a country in the original book shattered countless people's understanding of the size of the ninja world. However, the city built by Lan Yu spreads all over the original Rain country, even faintly beyond the border. A country is far bigger than a village. Compared with the so-called capitals of other big countries, it is quite big, especially so magnificent. The role of the city is to show its strength to the enemy. If it is not big, then it loses its meaning. Chapter 51. Shock in the Shinobi world. Seeking flowers, seeking monthly pass, seeking evaluation. Advertisement. The empire is awaiting prosperity, everything needs to be perfected. What Lan Yu wants to build is a real empire, not a so-called city. It is not the so-called small forces accumulated by a few strong people. Then the law, economy, people's livelihood, military, etc. must be perfected. In the empire and even in the whole world of ninja, recruit all kinds of talents and receive preferential treatment. Arrange housing for the imperial ninjas and civilians, and restore the economy and people's livelihood as soon as possible. Other laws can be gradually improved, but there are 3 points that anyone touches and dies. Everyone looked serious and listened carefully. Lan Yu's tone was slightly murderous. He who harms the people of the empire for no reason, die. Those who wantonly infringe upon the empire's territory, die. Those who disrespect the lord of the empire, die. If you want to unify the ninja world, you must not be merciful. In Lan Yu's view, Rock Shinobi's death to more than 10,000 people is nothing at all. It will cause a sensation in the ninja world for a few days at most, and it will soon be forgotten by people. Inform the ninja world, our invisible empire cannot be violated. Yes, your majesty, Shinobi is a sensation. The battle of the whole ninja world ended with an incredible ending. Oyeki died in battle. 5 Tails Jinchuriki died in battle. More than 10,000 Rock Shinobi, all died in battle. The real world city shocked the world. When everyone heard this news, they suspected that there was a problem with their ears. After repeated confirmation, there was silence, and then shouted in disbelief. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. The first to receive the news was Rock Shinobi Village. The son of Onoki, Hōgyoku, too, was already a lead jonin at a young age, with a high sense of responsibility and team spirit. After Onoki left, he acted for him. Just as Lois was sitting in the office happily, looking forward to receiving news like this. Rock Shinobi traversed the country of rain, attacked the country of fire, and caught Konaha by surprise. This battle is a big victory. Long live Tsuchikage. But the bad news that followed made Lois feel that the sky had fallen. Fake, you are lying to me, right? Hōgyoku's eyes were red, and he was waiting expectantly for Rock Shinobi who had fled the battlefield early to speak. But there was indeed a sad silence. Impossible, my father is dead, why didn't you guys die? Hōgyoku said, raising his fist and smashing it down. Escape, die, die, bang 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 bang. The elders of Rock Shinobi looked at the Lois that was madly killing the deserters, and they did not speak. Until now they can't believe this is true. Soon when Hōgyoku brought them to the battlefield. The corpses all over the floor made everyone desperate. From this moment on, Rock Shinobi Village, which can be ranked high enough, has become the tail of the crane directly. Even worse than Tsuchikage. After all, Tsuchikage also has 3rd Kazekage, Chiyo brothers and sisters, 1-tailed Jinchuriki. And the 3 strongest Iwagakure, Tsuchikage plus 2 Jinchuriki died. This is no different to Iwagakure, cut off hope. Advertisement, Lois. The elders looked at the Lois with great concern. For fear of his mental breakdown, we're going crazy to find Lan Yu for revenge. It was really over then. But what makes the elders gratified and painful is that Hōgyoku has no impulse, but his voice is so cold. Collect the corpses for our great Tsuchikage Lord, collect the corpses for Han Lord, collect the corpses for my heroes of Iwagakure. From now on, I will inherit 4th Tsuchikage. Who is for and who is against? Really grown up. The elders took a deep breath and knelt on the ground together. Farewell, Master 4th Tsuchikage, Father, I will avenge you. The expressionless Lois has hatred in his eyes. Come here, to offer gifts to the invisible empire. 3rd Tsuchikage was really shocked, even a little scared. Only 8 people shot, he didn't even dare to think so in his dreams. No matter what the process is, but the result was bloody, and 3rd Tsuchikage had trouble sleeping and eating, for fear that Lan Yu would send someone to attack Kirigakure. God knows how many people are under Lan Yu, let alone how strong Lan Yu is. I think that Konaha was first built. Although other ninja villages started to be established, there were only 2 villages in the entire ninja world at that time. Konaha, other villages, all first-generation movies are persuaded by the existence of Hashirama and Madara. He didn't feel ashamed of Lan Yu's confession. What should I give? Ninjutsu? They don't seem to be a chakra system? Money? Treasures? Beautiful women? Local products? One by one through 3rd Tsuchikage's mind, but they are not very satisfied. But when I think that the invisible empire has just been formed, it must be short of everything. 3rd Tsuchikage decided to do everything. Can't tell which thing touched Lan Yu's refreshing point. A word. Li is light and affection is heavy, please let it go. But if Lan Yu is really cruel and ruthless, if he says he must attack Kirigakure. That 3rd Tsuchikage is absolutely desperate, but it must be right and make a good deal first. For some reason, Tsuchikage suddenly withdrew and didn't want to fight Konaha anymore. The original situation is that the Rain Country will do it, Sand Shinobi will do it, Rock Shinobi will do it. Cloud Shinobi and Mist Shinobi do it anytime, but the sudden death of Onoki. Let everything be quiet. It was the unbalanced development of resources among countries that started the war, but suddenly a powerful country qualified to grab resources emerged. Then the balance is completely broken. If you don't stop the war and observe the new situation first, you will be completely out of control. Why is this? Onoki is so weak. Third Tsuchikage was angry. Rock Shinobi, who should have shared the pressure, knelt directly, so they hit a hammer with Konoha. Let Cloud Shinobi Village take advantage of it. You can only choose a truce, asterisk. Chapter 52. Danzo. I'm better than dead advertisement. The middle-aged Qian represents a heavy feeling. This Lan Yu is very wrong. Of course something is wrong, too strong. Third Tsuchikage pondered for a while and said, send someone to present a gift. San Shinobi, acknowledge the existence of the empire. To show respect, go to some more people, and you will go too for the 1,000 generations. Send more people, of course, to inquire about information. Everything is unknown, too scary. Everyone nodded, but an elder said abruptly. Master Fengying, what are we giving away? Third Tsuchikage. Why'd I often have tears in my eyes? It's really me. San Shinobi is so poor. That night, Third Tsuchikage had red eyes to extract placer gold from the yellow sand. The elders were deeply moved when they saw this scene. Come on, Master Fengying. Let me lead the team this time, Father, Master Raikage. Cloud Shinobi Village also chose to celebrate the establishment of the empire. In other words, except for the hateful Hōgyoku, other countries and villages will take the initiative to give gifts to the invisible empire. It is not only recognition of its country, but also inquiries about intelligence. If there is no conflict of interest, no one is willing to provoke a powerful enemy for no reason. The three-nation buffer zone has never been the goal of all countries, and it is too chaotic. Seeing Raikage want to refuse, 4th generation I immediately said, Master Raikage, you said that if you don't see a higher landscape, you won't understand how big the world is. I want to see that scenery. 3rd Raikage looked at the vitality in 4th generation I and finally nodded. After all, it's a gift for the empire. Presumably Lan Yu won't embarrass you. You should also go out for a walk. Thanks to Lord Raikage, then I'll go to inform the. Stop, Killer B is so young, he hasn't even gone to school, why go out? He is my future partner, my brother. Looking at the stubborn 4th generation I, 3rd Raikage frowned slightly. Seeing this, Barubi said softly, at present, World War II has ceased. The road is safe. Send more people and there will be no accidents. But before the voice was over, 4th generation I ran away and couldn't help laughing at 3rd Raikage. This brat, I will break his leg when he comes back. Konaha. Looking at the detailed information, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help crying. There is pride, heartache, and more sorrow. That guy Oyemu, even if I didn't have the confidence to take it, you killed him. Maruko, Suna, Jiraiya, you guys, finally grown up. Can kill the Sannin of Onoki in a shocking ninja world, but Sarutobi Hiruzen is distraught. Sannin is Sannin, but not Konoha Sannin, but Imperial Sannin. I don't know how big waves have been caused in the world of Shinobi. And without Sannin, Konoha's majesty has also been reduced a lot. It can be said that the invisible empire, it was built on Konoha and Hōgyoku's corpse. Advertisement Konoha doesn't know how many people have words about the invisible empire, but there is absolutely no way. Shuo Mao, only you can do this task. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the man with long silver white hair and ponytail in front of him, and said in a deep voice. Master Hokage, please give orders. Konoha's white fang, Hitaki Tsukumo was also stunned by the recent wave of news. What Danzo was dying, what Hokage disciples defected, what Rock Shinobi was defeated, what empire was built, etc. Calm like him, can't help but say. Horrible, Sarutobi said. Although the Second World War has stopped briefly, we have a new enemy. Hitaki Tsukumo knows who Sarutobi is talking about, and I believe no one is not curious about Lan Yu. And the first time I heard his name was Konoha. The establishment of the invisible empire, Konoha wants to give a gift. This is not to be afraid, but to show the demeanor of my Darren village. Your Excellency Daming also sent someone too. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes dimmed a bit unconsciously, and then he became firm. I have the candidate for Konoha's gift. They're in the light, and you are in the dark. Your task is to do your best to collect all the intelligence that may be investigated, especially the source of their power, and you must not expose yourself. If things cannot be done, I allow you to give up the task. Hitaki Tsukumo nodded deeply. The mission this time was very dangerous. Lan Yu may not know herself, but Sanni knows it well. Knowing that the invisible empire and Konoha have indelible grievances, God knows what Lan Yu will find out about him. No one is available, Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. Want to secretly enter the invisible empire without being easily discovered. It is possible to escape even if found. Looking at the whole Konoha, only Hitaki Tsukumo remained capable and powerful. But even if it is Konoha's white fang, if it is found, the survival rate is very low. But for Sarutobi Hiruzen, Lan Yu's intelligence is more important than anything else, otherwise Konoha's demise will be ushered in. Roots, newly established roots. Why are you so strong? Danzo, who is calm in the outside world, his roots are like crazy beasts every time. 3 months. Danzo is often awakened by nightmares, and his head is full of images of Lan Yu ruthlessly trampling on him. He would never forget the look that used him as an ant as a toy. Danzo strengthened himself desperately, having perfected his limbs and eyes with the help of Orochimaru. Maybe it's because God doesn't want Danzo to die so quickly. Danzo incorporated it into himself before the first generation cells were thoroughly studied. Fortunately, he won the bet and survived. Not enough, not enough. Danzo touched his right eye, exercising his limbs. In Danzo's eyes, wood style and Mangekyo are the strongest. But in him is indeed the incomplete wood style and the weak 3-goad jade. With these half-hearted words, he used his head to fight Lan Yu. Chapter 53. Uchiha Madara. You are waiting, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement, but Danzo could no longer find a way to become stronger. It's impossible to match the wood style of first generation, Mangekyo. Danzo has always been paying attention to Uchiha, and Fugaku's sudden leadership has a big problem. Why on earth is he? Just thinking about it, Danzo couldn't stop. So he has been investigating secretly, and finally he found some clues. The main reason is that Fugaku is too anxious. If Danzo won't pay attention to him in a few years, but he is only a teenager, Danzo has to think more. Oh, Mangekyo, keep it for me first. Temporarily suppressing the idea of Uchiha's shot, Danzo looked at the scroll in front of him. This is a hand-copied version of the Book of Seals, with a forbidden technique on it, which is a very strong external force. Thousands of people lose, then 10,000, 100,000. People can't fight, then use God to fight you. Danzo, who originally didn't care about this forbidden technique, is now embarking on the old track of Orochimaru. Forbidden technique. Impure world reincarnation. At the same time, in that dark and empty crypt, Black Zetsu was silent, and the uncle Madara of Haki was also silent. The atmosphere in the entire underground is extremely suppressed, just like a volcano about to erupt. Ah! Uchiha Madara uttered a word, unable to say whether it was anger or excitement or what. The intelligence brought by Black Zetsu, Uncle Madara was a little uncomfortable. It's not because of the 8-person group killing rock shinobi, that's nothing to Uncle Madara. But, I'm so hot Rinnegan, just thrown into the urn by you? Gone. Think of how much effort Madara put in to start Rinnegan. Fight non-stop to open the 3-go jade, endless grief opens Mangekyo, and Izuna's dedication opens eternal Mangekyo. Fake death to obtain Hashirama cells, and only turned on Rinnegan when he was about to die of old age. Rinnegan is his history of struggle with blood and tears. It is the foundation of his future battles in the ninja world, but now? Lan Yu, I misunderstood you. Don't even look down on Rinnegan, great. Uchiha Madara closed her eyes tightly, it has already happened, and any worries are meaningless. Even if Rinnegan won't decay, but it fell into Lan Yu's hands after all, which meant that the plan had stopped. Madara will never allow it. At this time, there was a sound of footsteps and Madara and Black Zetsu looked at them suddenly. A figure, step by step from a distance. The visitor was awe-inspiring, with a cold expression. Every few minutes close, let the crypt depressed a few minutes. This is, when the duty and Black Zetsu saw the figure clearly. Even Uchiha Madara couldn't help but his face changed slightly, but Black Zetsu looked stupid. Black Zetsu condensely said, you are. The mere ants are also worthy to talk to me? The visitor looked at it coldly, and a powerful momentum directly sent Black Zetsu to the fly. Seeing this, Uchiha Madara frowned slightly and looked at the visitor, as if to see through it. But even he can't see through. Damn, dared to be presumptuous in front of Madara-sama. Black Zetsu is very angry at the moment, but he really didn't have any powerful offensive ninjutsu, so he could only glare at him. Shangu was silent. Advertisement, it was not Lan Yu who came. Rather, the same person as the old Uchiha Madara has the same posture. That kind of momentum is not bad at all, everyone thought it was him. Even Black Zetsu is a little confused, this is definitely not a transformation technique. Uchiha Madara's eyes were full of scarlet light, and he said coldly, good ninjutsu, even I can't see any difference, but... This is not the reason you fooled me, do you want to dance too? Boom. A tyrannical aura erupted from Uchiha Madara. That is pure murderousness, like a sea of blood, the underground space was immediately suppressed to the extreme. Hi, Lord Madara, it's me. The Uchiha Madara, on the opposite side felt this murderous aura and was immediately discouraged. From a proud wolf, into a little sheep in the blink of an eye. White Zetsu. Black Zetsu's voice screamed, there is anger, panic, and disbelief. Angrily is that White Zetsu plays with him like this, and what is panic is that White Zetsu knows his true identity. What makes him most unbelievable is that. Where does White Zetsu have this kind of ability, and still have such a strong momentum? Holy writing ability. You yourself can imitate the enemy's appearance and posture, as well as all power and technology. For example, by transforming himself into Sarutobi Hiruzen's appearance, White Zetsu can gain the strength and fighting skills comparable to Sarutobi. This ability is very unreasonable, seemingly simple, but in fact it is a bug. Only when the enemy becomes stronger than White Zetsu before imitating, there is a way to solve White Zetsu. Although the ability is good, but Lan Yu didn't let him fight. Imitating everything, even strength, is helpful for White Zetsu to gather intelligence. White Zetsu's ability is very suitable for the intelligence department. Yes, it's me. White Zetsu immediately relieved his abilities and restored his body. He gave Black Zetsu a smile, but a smile. Don't worry, there are some things I won't say. Black Zetsu's complexion darkened slightly, and he wanted to kill White Zetsu directly. Uchiha Madara was rather calm, withdrew his murderous aura and glanced at White Zetsu. Lan Yu sent you? You found a good master, ahem. White Zetsu sneered, he didn't want to come either. To be honest, the times have changed, my lord, White Zetsu said directly. Master Madara, your majesty has sent me a message. Rinnegan is in your hands, waiting for you to get it. Does he want to dance too? Uchiha Madara's eyes were so sharp that White Zetsu was shocked. The word is over, I'm leaving now. White Zetsu ran non-stop, shouting and echoing in the cave. Thank you Madara-sama for taking care of you for so many years. I don't say thank you very much, I will repay you. Ridiculous. Uchiha Madara raised her eyes slightly, thanking me? Am I so weak that I need help from a waist? Boom boom boom. A wave of tyrannical chakra was drawn from the ghetto statue by Madara. The pipe linked to him was like a water pump, constantly pumping chakra. Not only that, there is also an explosion of strong vitality. If an outsider looks at Uchiha Madara at this moment, it will be shocked. Because of the appearance of the rotten old man, he seemed to be a bit younger after a few breaths. Even pale hair, it's all darkened a bit. Chapter 54. Lan Yu. Take this Conan flower. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement, finally you can't sit still, but this can only last for one battle. Black Zetsu watched this scene blankly, he had no choice but to rely on Madara to grab it back. But, did you really grab it back? And Madara's body is about to decay. Even if you return to the top for a short time, no matter you win or lose, the result will die. The plan was completely disrupted, 3 days. Feeling the state of the body, Madara estimated. The vitality and chakra of Ghetto statue were continuously extracted, and it took about 3 days to get him back to his peak state. I wanted to wait to find the air, and then go to fight Lan Yu happily. But the plan never keeps up with the changes, it's uncomfortable to feel passive. Madara closed her eyes again, trying to extract life force. Mysterious young man, you successfully ignited my blood. It's quiet at night, Invisible Empire Center. At the top of True World City, inside the empty hall of the Supreme Power Center. Lan Yu sat on the throne and looked at White Zetsu. Did he say anything after you passed the message? He said. White Zetsu scratched his head, what did Madara say? After thinking about it, White Zetsu's eyes lit up. He said, does your majesty want to dance? Lan Yu? Good guys. Change a word, the momentum is gone, okay. Dance king. Come, play music, dance, go and rest. Yes, your majesty. White Zetsu turned around and left, only Lan Yu was sitting on the throne alone, his eyes trembled, and he didn't know what he was thinking. Let's not mention Uchiha Madara, he has been in the ninja world for half a year, and everything seems to be dreaming. From an ordinary person, he became the master of a country. The mental process in the middle is as intense as a roller coaster, often making Lan Yu awake in a trance. Standing too high, it's really cold. Lan Yu said that the heights are very cold. Before he even had time to take a good look at the scenery of Ninja World, he stood directly at the top. The ever-increasing majesty makes Kushina, a girl like a nerveless girl, be cautious from time to time. Lan Yu thinks he is very gentle and likes to be lively. But the huge difference in identity and power made him cold. Like the big pillar, Lan Yu really can't learn. System, right? Lan Yu spoke abruptly, but there was no response after waiting for a long time. Looking back suddenly, he realized that he had no system. He just wanted to find someone to chat with each other, talk about family life as an equal, and recall the past. Unfortunately, there is no such person around. For a while, the young and strong Lan Yu lived the daily routine of Uncle Madara ahead of schedule. This is not the life I want, even being a faint coon is better than sitting here alone. Lan Yu frowned slightly, now he is almost invincible, but life is getting boring. The worse it gets worse. The more I think about it, the more something is wrong. Whatever you want is the style of the strong. When Lan Yu was about to get up, there was a slight sound of footsteps in the empty hall. Advertisement. There is also a crisp sweet girl voice. Your Majesty, are you there? Lan Yu's posture was a little lazy, and he acted casually. Is it Conan? Come in. The light in the hall is slightly dim. When Conan walked for half a minute and approached, Lan Yu saw what Conan looked like at the moment, and couldn't help being surprised. This is Conan? The original Kinsei Honor's battle uniform was removed and replaced with a white dress, which was very beautiful. Does the ninja world have such clothes? It's fashionable enough. Conan is 1 meter tall and has long light blue-purple hair on his shoulders. There was a bit of anxiety on the delicate face, and a bit of shame on the bright eyes. Pure and elegant posture, I really feel sorry for me. Lan Yu immediately praised the previous decision, which was the decision to help Loli grow up as soon as possible. Sorry, in front of sexy, cuteness is not worth mentioning. Conan held a large delicate flower and smiled softly. Your Majesty, this is a paper flower I made. I hope you like it. At the same time, looking at Lan Yu secretly, Conan suddenly realized that Lan Yu at this moment was very different from usual. The usual demeanor of the king, like the big brother next door at this moment, made her nervous a lot easier. For a while, Conan made up his mind. Raising his hand to take it, Lan Yu looked at the delicate paper flower in his hand. Don't speak deeply. You flower, I like it very much. Lan Yu is not an emotional idiot. After all, a girl came to send him flowers in the middle of the night, right? Ah. Conan was surprised. Before he had time to say anything, the next moment he exclaimed. The whole person floated up and fell directly into Lan Yu's arms. In an instant, Conan's white cheeks instantly turned red. Your Majesty. Your Majesty. As if it was an illusion, Conan's hair started to smoke, and a nervous sentence could not be said clearly. Especially when Lan Yu was close at hand, she even heard the powerful heartbeat from Your Majesty. The warmth in that embrace made Conan's eyelashes flutter. I'm here to send flowers. Just made it. Okay, I know. Lan Yu didn't care. Maybe you really misunderstood. Conan just came to send flowers very simply. But this is not important to a king. He was pretty sure that his actions would not harm Conan. Don't worry, no one will come again tonight. What? Conan opened his eyes secretly, very bright. With such beautiful eyes, Lan Yu expressed his heart. Under Conan's straight gaze, Lan Yu lowered his head. Suddenly Conan's brain went blank. Well, Conan's thoughts stopped at this moment. This kiss opened the door to new world for her. Send paper flowers. I also send my own flower out. Gradually, Conan closed his eyes and melted himself into Lan Yu's arms. Just one night, Conan has matured again. Chapter 55. Kushina is pathetic, seeking monthly ticket, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation. Advertisement the next day. The empire was first built, and the whole country was mobilized, and they worked hard to build their own homes and contributed to the rise of the empire. Everyone is so busy, Orochimaru even forgot what the laboratory looked like. The empire is in short supply for all kinds of talents, isn't it? Then go for it. Can't recruit? Then go. Grab it. Compared to destruction, Lan Yu prefers construction. Watching my country getting stronger and stronger, watching my people smile happily. That sense of accomplishment satisfied him. It wasn't until the afternoon was busy that several of Lan Yu's capable men took a break. Everyone gathered in the hall, waiting for Lan Yu's next instructions. What? Seeing Kushina's wry expression, Makoto gently cared. What's wrong? Didn't you sleep last night? I didn't sleep last night. Kushina melancholy said. Didn't I just turn on the Eucharist? I have been excited and can't fall asleep, but there are many things I don't understand, so I want to ask Your Majesty. Go to Your Majesty at night? Makoto marveled at Kushina's rough nerves. Now that the empire is on the right track, Your Majesty, as the supreme leader, can't be disturbed easily. Kushina was puzzled. What's wrong? Conan went too. Hearing Conan, Tsunade was also very puzzled. By the way, what about Conan? I haven't seen you for a day. Are you doing other work? Everyone shook their heads. They were busy with their own affairs, and there was no time to care about others. Kushina continued. Just when I went to find Your Majesty, I saw Conan stepping forward first. She might have some questions too. I just wanted to wait for Conan to ask me before I go in. Everyone was taken aback, Kushina said with a wry expression. But I waited and waited. Conan never came out. 1 hour, 2 hours. It wasn't until dawn that I found myself waiting all night. Having said that, Kushina squatted aggrievedly on the ground. Is Conan's problem that difficult? Oh, I'm so pathetic. Everyone. This child has firm perseverance. But it seems, what's wrong? A few bear children were confused. Jiraiya showed the old driver's smile. This involves a long time ago. It is said that in ancient times, the population was declining, and many people did not understand how to develop the population. Until someone has taken the first step towards blood continuity, then has the splendid ninja world now available. Listen, it's not easy for the old driver to speak. Orochimaru has no interest, Tsunade has a black line. Especially when I saw the inquiring gazes of several bear children, I was speechless. Jiraiya, you can die without speaking. What's wrong? I'm just telling a story. Shut up, idiot. Tsunade cursed, and then he was full of surprise. Conan is still a... No, she seems taller than me. The thought that Conan, Kushina, and Makoto are all close to 1m7, Tsunade feels overwhelmed. Advertisement. How did Your Majesty give them such a high? Fortunately, I still have an advantage. A few goddess girls want to catch up with their own advantages, but they are still a bit tender, Kushina leaned close to Makoto and said quietly, the situation is not right. Conan stayed by His Majesty's side for 1 night and 1 morning. It always feels tedious. Makoto couldn't help holding his forehead. Can I say nothing? Although the children in the ninja world are precocious, they are only psychologically precocious. God knows what adults like to do. At this moment, Lan Yu's figure suddenly appeared on the throne. Meet Your Majesty. Seeing Lan Yu's arrival, everyone immediately tidied their appearances. Please peace. Lan Yu raised his hand slightly and went straight to the subject. The development of the empire takes time, and there is no rush to aggression. Orochimaru and Jiraiya stay, and the rest go out to do missions. Hearing the task, everyone was even more solemn. 2 people as a team, Tsunade and Conan, Kushina and Makoto, Yahiko and Nagato. Go to Sanagakure to take down 1 tail, Kirigakure to take down 3 tails and 6 tails, and to Yuyin Village to take down 7 tails. 2 tails and 8 tails, there are other arrangements. 9 tails, 4 tails and 5 tails have been absorbed by Lan Yu, and the remaining 6-tailed beasts must not be let go. As for whether the process caused turmoil or caused public anger, Lan Yu didn't care. Bring it on, I sit on the top of the throne, waiting for you. Yes, Your Majesty. Everyone didn't ask why. Your Majesty's decision is their direction. But Tsunade glanced back and forth, and couldn't help but said, Your Majesty, my teammate Conan. Conan rests today, and you will leave again tomorrow. Lan Yu's expression is quite calm and natural. Tsunade didn't say anything, but his eyes were slightly complicated. Subconsciously think about how Conan and his majesty spent the night. Leave it all, Orochimaru stay. Yes, your majesty. Only Lan Yu and Orochimaru were left in the empty hall. Just as Orochimaru recalled whether he had made any mistakes, Lan Yu's voice sounded. Are you interested in Rinnegan, your majesty? Maybe I used to be interested, but at this moment, as a Quincy, it is difficult for me to be interested in power that does not belong to me. Orochimaru was calm and honest. He has been long-lived, and his interest in those external forces has greatly diminished. It is better to study how to develop holy characters and develop more soul power. Lan Yu nodded slightly and whispered. In another world, the study of soul is very deep. Based on their soul energy, they developed a variety of different races, and derived a variety of power systems, not much worse than the Quincy. Orochimaru's eyes lit up. New truth. The more you touch the soul, the more you can feel the mystery and vastness of the soul. Orochimaru was deeply intoxicated, but he knows too little about this, and he can't even start experiments. Chapter 56. Research on Virtual and Arrancar. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement, Shinigami, a life form with a very high concentration of Reiko. All Shinigami share the same sleep and food with the sealed state, and through accumulative training, they write the essence of their soul into the sealed state, and create their own Zanpakuto. The sealed state is the unnamed Zanpakuto, and Zanpakuto can enable Shinigami to exert as much power as the sacred characters of the Quincy, perform Shikai, Bankai, and liberate step by step. Listening to Lan Yu's words, Orochimaru couldn't help being moved. A life form with a very high concentration of spirits? It must be very exciting to kill. Void, in the soul of this world, after a period of time, the inner desire will corrode the body, turning it into void, that is, the evil spirit. They can continuously devour souls and other virtual evolutions. The higher the level, the closer to a human body shape and reason, and strong ability and power. Orochimaru's eyes lit up. Shinigami was a bit difficult. But imaginary, when they killed Rock Shinobi, they discovered that they could see Rock Shinobi's soul. He was thinking, a soul is not strong, what would happen if they could fuse them together? But I didn't expect such creatures to exist in other worlds. Although the words of other worlds also gave Orochimaru a lot of shock, he is more inclined to the present. Zanpakuto. Lan Yu said this to Orochimaru, just to enrich his life and strength. After all, his extinction crossknife has no characteristics except for hurting the soul. If it is really researched out, Orochimaru can understand its power and imagine creating sealed states and the like. It can also give the Quincy a sense of urgency. Otherwise, when a race has no natural enemies and competition at all, it will relax and reluctant to make progress, and it will be the beginning of loneliness. Follow me and record this experiment with me. Yes, your majesty. In one building, this is the Academy of Sciences prepared by Lan Yu for Orochimaru. The full name is the School of Science and Technology R&D and Exploration. However, the Empire currently only has a scientist named Orochimaru, and the rest must be cultivated or found. Your majesty, As soon as he entered here, Orochimaru saw hundreds of Rock Shinobi, souls. Experiments require experimental subjects. Let's start recording, all their status and changes. Lan Yu walked over to ignore the roar of those souls. A certain old man is likely to come to me to fight, but he is more likely to be killed by me when he is so old, then he has almost no possibility of resurrection. But he who died was not what I wanted, but he couldn't keep his hands, so I could only give him a different way of living after he died or when he was about to die. If he knows it, he may also say, don't think I'm doing things for you, you don't know how strong I am at the top, come on, dance again and so on. But what I have is patience, it would be too boring without him. Hearing Lan Yu's words, Orochimaru's eyes were dumbfounded. Which uncle is so sturdy? Sarutobi Hiruzen. No, third Raikage. Please forgive Orochimaru's lack of knowledge. Advertisement. After all, in everyone's hearts, that old man died for many years. Even if Lan Yu mentioned something before, it was subconsciously ignored by Orochimaru. Start. Under Orochimaru's serious gaze, Lan Yu directly liberated hundreds of Rock Shinobi souls. And imprisoned them in a spiritual subspace, raising his hand to bloom with blue and black light. What energy is that? Looking at the light on Lan Yu's hand, Orochimaru had a feeling of desperately wanting to swallow it. The deadly temptation almost made him lose his mind, but fortunately he stopped by gritting his teeth. Hōgyoku, come on. The energy in Lan Yu's hands is exactly the energy of Hōgyoku, to promote and guide them to evolve. Sing, roar, roar. Under the influence of Hōgyoku, the souls lost their minds, purged of the extremely evil aura, and their bodies quickly became huge. One by one became ugly monsters. Is this virtual? It has become a lot stronger, and ordinary humans really can't see it. Orochimaru opened his eyes. It stands to reason that creatures in another world cannot appear so easily. But Orochimaru also guessed, their upgrade is because of the unknown energy in Lan Yu's hands. Roar. Hundreds of imaginaries screamed at each other, constantly biting at other imaginary attacks. It turned into a completely irrational monster and started the killing evolution. Orochimaru can perceive that every time one emptiness swallows another imaginary, then the aura of this imaginary is a bit huge, and the speed of evolution is very fast. Ordinary emptiness, at least Manos Grande of Jillian's level is qualified. Lan Yu watched quietly. The 3 levels of Manos Grande, the lower level. Jillian, the intermediate level. Ajukas, the upper level. Vasto Lord. But now there is not a Manos Grande. I do not know how long it has been. One Shu first recovered a trace of sanity and then began the massacre. Soon all the remaining emptiness was swallowed by him. Roar. This is a black body with a long white nose mask. He is huge, but his movements are slow, and his IQ is similar to that of a beast. Jillian class, Manos Grande. Swallowing hundreds of empty talents to become the weakest subordinate Manos Grande, but it's enough. What Lan Yu wants is the virtual Shinigamiization, that is, Arrancar, and the minimum requirement for Arrancar is the Jillian level Manos Grande. For example, number 9 in Espada. If Arrancar can appear, then Shinigami's ability. Lan Yu is very likely to be developed. After all, Arrancar is Manos Grande who has realized Shinigami's abilities. Direct fantasy creation cannot create Shinigami or Arrancar in the true sense. After all, Lan Yu doesn't understand the specific structure. Hōgyoku is Lan Yu's biggest hanger. Asterisk chapter 57. Kakuzu. I'm here to give the head, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement, I will give you wisdom and strength. Lan Yu flashed in front of Manos Grande, and the energy of Hōgyoku enveloped it. It is mandatory to complete the Arrancarization. After all, the truly powerful virtual ones can Arrancar by themselves, such as Stark. This means that Manos Grande has the potential to become Shinigami, and Lan Yu just forcibly speeds up this process. Rather than giving Shinigami the power, after all, Lan Yu won't either. Although I can't understand it at all, it's really fascinating. Orochimaru's eyes flashed with a fanatical light belonging to a scientist, and he kept recording. Boom. Suddenly Manos Grande swelled up, it seemed to be unable to withstand the powerful energy, and it exploded directly. Failed. Lan Yu is not discouraged at all, after all, he started from scratch, just a few more visits. So in Orochimaru's astonishment, Lan Yu raised his hand and waved hundreds of rock shinobi souls. This leaves Orochimaru at a loss what to say. I said how I felt that the number of souls in rock shinobi was wrong. It turned out to be taken away by your majesty. Perhaps we should find a strong soul to try. Continue. After finally getting excited, Lan Yu is very motivated. Must get Arrancar out, at the same time. Kushina and Mikoto set off, Yahiko and Nagato also set off. Only Tsunade is still waiting for Conan's recovery. After all, it's the first time, it's inevitably a bit, well. Takigakura is in the country of Taki, and the country of Taki is not far from the Invisible Empire, passing through the country of grass. Ninja World. Here we come. Yahiko and Nagato were very excited when they were away from home for the first time. Everything in the outside world is strange. The two teenagers looked around and couldn't help being fascinated by the excitement of the outside world. But the speed is not reduced at all, after all, the task is the main task. At the same time, there was also a man wearing a mask with a forehead protector on his head, and he hurried toward the Invisible Empire. Although you are very strong, 3 billion taels is my life. Kakuzu's voice is full of greed, he could not control his body and flew towards the Invisible Empire. No one, like Kakuzu, has been looking for Lan Yu for 3 full months without any stay at all. Can't even take care of eating. That is because they need to change a heart in these 2 days, otherwise they would have come to the Invisible Empire long ago. Is money important or life important? For Kakuzu, money is as important as his life. How can you know that you will die if you don't try? But if there is a slight chance of success, he is willing to give it a try. Who is he, Kakuzu? But a man who fought with the god of ninja and retreated all over his body. Lan Yu. 800 miles away, throw at the big pillar and run away? Alright, almost here. Advertisement. Although Kakuzu was excited, all 5 hearts almost burst with excitement. But he, who is experienced, is always vigilant and works hard to calm his chakra. But when he was only a few miles away from the Invisible Empire, Kakuzu yelled excitedly. Lan Yu, wait for me, you must wait for me. At this moment, 2 strands of Ryotsu suddenly swept in front, and they came straight. Kakuzu suddenly took a halt, felt the extremely depressed feeling, and suddenly cold at his face. Who is it? Get out of me. What is the relationship between you and the one in your mouth? A dull and suspicious voice sounded, and Yahiko and Nagato, who were dressed in Quincy's suits, walked out of the shadows and looked at Kakuzu puzzledly. He even called his majesty's name directly, and his tone was so excited. Is it a friend? Hey, it turned out to be 2 bear kids. But the 18-year-old looks like a kid in Kakuzu's eyes, but he didn't put down his guard at all, and said coldly. Get out of me, or you'll die. Yahiko frowned. You haven't answered my question yet. You. Huh? Kakuzu also frowned. It was the dressing style of the 2 that really reminded him of something. After all, the image characteristics of the 8-man group also blasted the ninja world. Especially their different styles of ninja-style costumes have been talked about by countless people. White cloak, white battle uniform, and badges that belong exclusively to the Empire. Kakuzu squinted slightly and said solemnly, you are the 8 demon generals of the Invisible Empire? What the hell title? Why don't you talk about the king's 8 wuhai? Nagato frowned, and Yahiko said coldly, it seems that you and your majesty are not friends, so you are enemies. It doesn't look weak, it just warms us up. Small sacred arrow. Yahiko shot directly, raising his hand as a laser shot from his fingers. Boom. The instant attack, without warning, made Kakuzu unresponsive for a while, and was directly pierced through his shoulders. The sharp pain also ignited his anger. Damn it kid, you angered me. Tentacle punch. Kakuzu instantly shifted his position, separating his wrist from his arm. A dense black line was released from the arm and shot towards the two of them. What kind of monster is this? Yahiko and Nagato were surprised by Kakuzu's gesture of disassembling his hands when they didn't agree with each other. Seeing the two big trees behind were shattered by tentacles, the two looked at each other and attacked Kakuzu. Medium Sacred Killer. Watching two huge arrows converge in their hands, Kakuzu didn't dare to care. After all, there are many legends about the group of 8. Each one is very strong, and even because of lack of intelligence, it is more difficult to deal with than most cage levels. So Kakuzu directly liberated the grievances. In the swift evasion, a large number of black lines flew out of the body, and then 5 colored masks appeared behind him. Fire style head hard. Wind style suppress. Chapter 58. Stop fighting. I surrender. Seeking flowers. Seeking evaluation. Seeking monthly pass. Advertisement compound ninja Yangfeng Luanbo. One mask released a flame like seawater, and the other mask released a huge high-pressure wind ball. The wind helps the fire. The Uzumaki-like violent wind stirred up fire waves, and suddenly a huge sea of fire like a tsunami was set off. Overwhelmingly rushed towards Nagato and Yahiko. This guy is not an ordinary ninja, he is probably cage level. Thinking of this, Yahiko and Nagato were not at all nervous, but excited. Cage level powerhouses are the pillars in any village, and there are not many in the entire ninja world. It is a lot of experience for them. The next moment, the two entered the realm of shadows. Damn it, it's really hard. After the attack, there was nothing but ruins. Kakuzu could not help but think of some information when they saw the two disappear. It seems that the 8-person group will have an extremely subtle way of avoiding, and no one knows where to hide. It's bad luck. Kakuzu suddenly didn't want to fight the two of them, it didn't make any sense. Just as he was about to leave, there was a crisis behind him. The finger of burning fire, like a volcanic eruption, an astonishingly powerful flame shot out. Before arriving, Kakuzu felt the hot breath far beyond his fire style. Kakuzu was about to evade. Suddenly, the mask of the water system was directly penetrated and destroyed. No warning. Damn it, what's the situation? Suddenly, a heart was destroyed silently and invisibly. Kakuzu almost lost his mind in anger. But experience told him that if you don't have enough intelligence, don't fight with people of the same level at will. You wait for me to find Lan Yu. Kakuzu thought that he should put a cruel word anyway. But before finishing talking, the heart of the earth element was silently destroyed. Ah, damn you guys. The loss of 2 hearts in a blink of an eye made Kakuzu a little crazy. Nagato's everything penetrates, and when his sniper rifle is ready to be aimed at the enemy has only one choice. That is to avoid it in advance. Don't think of defense. If you slow down, you will die. And there is no sound and no warning, there is no so-called bullet at all. Ground grievance the final shot. Kakuzu moved away quickly, avoiding Yahiko's scorching heat, and activated his ultimate move. Gather the 3 grievance mask monsters of wind, fire, and thunder on the right arm. Kakuzu quickly dodges the energy storage, then fires a beam of terrifying chakra cannons forward. Whoosh! The huge beam of light instantly pierced the void. Destroy everything wherever you went, and constantly shifted the direction, sweeping toward the two of them. Fei Lian feat. Yahiko avoided the beam and quickly approached Kakuzu. When Kakuzu fired, he kicked Kakuzu's heart fiercely with a bloody outfit. Bang! Thunder's heart was kicked and exploded in an instant. Ah! Die. You all go to die. Kakuzu's eyes were splitting, an extremely dense black thread erupted from his body. Advertisement like 10,000 arrows, they attacked Yahiko fiercely. Yahiko dodges in an instant, but the next moment, he is suddenly shocked. Nagato, who was about to continue to attack with everything, also slipped abruptly, watching Kakuzu's movements in disbelief. After Kakuzu roared and released a move, he turned and ran silently. That speed. Same as flashing. This guy ran away. Nagato and Yahiko said that they were eye-opening, and a group of people who talked a lot, but they were very embarrassed. Kakuzu. I am not counseling, this is a strategic retreat. A fast attack is strong for the opponent, but a fast attack is invisible. Kakuzu said he couldn't hold it. And there are only 2 hearts left, don't wait to die. Are all the invisible empire's monsters, what shall I use to fight Lan Yu? Kakuzu, who flees madly, has deep doubts about his abilities at this moment. He was beaten up by 2 younger brothers. He also needs to seal the seal and then accumulate energy to perform the spell. Many of the opponent's skills are directly instantaneous. How to play this? Boom. At this moment, Kakuzu found out in grief and horror. My body was pierced silently again, and a huge hole appeared on the body. Another heart was broken, and only the last one was left. Will die, he really will die. Stop, I surrender. Stop fighting, I have no grudges against you. Kakuzu hurriedly hid behind a big tree, shouting loudly. Horror, great horror. Nagato directly became Kakuzu's nightmare. He hasn't figured out how he got caught up to now, the other party just took a stab at it. You have to say what energy cannon fired, Kakuzu recognizes it too. But he didn't see any attack at all, so he suddenly shattered one heart after another. But you are your majesty's enemy. The sudden sound in his ear made Kakuzu curse pervert in his heart. As soon as I looked up, I saw Yahiko and Nagato falling in front, staring at him coldly. Kakuzu couldn't help but laughed. I'm kidding, I'm actually blue. No, I am a fan of the Great Invisible Empire, His Majesty, yes, a fanatical fan. I didn't say anything to your Majesty, did I? I'm very religious? Yahiko and Nagato looked at each other slightly. It seems. Is that true? Apart from shouting a few words of your Majesty's name, he didn't say anything like killing, fighting or revenge. At first he shouted with excitement, it really has the charm of fans. You are still too young. Kakuzu breathed a sigh of relief in his heart, and his eyes also showed envy, jealousy and hatred. In order to become stronger, he transformed himself into a monster, and it took decades to enter cage level. And these two people, even if they started practicing in the mother's womb, they would not have been more than 10 years at most. Invisible empires are all monsters. Chapter 59. Bragging to death, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking support. Advertisement. Nagato took a closer look at Kakuzu and said seriously. Although you are not from the Empire, but you are your Majesty. A fan, then you can't call it by name, at least in honorifics. Yes, my fault, I must respect Master Lan Yu. Kakuzu cursed a few words in his heart, then coughed slightly. Can I go now? Or I will die. Yahiko took a closer look at Kakuzu and was surprised. If someone else died at least 4 times, this monster was still alive and kicking. So Yahiko threw out a chain and tied Kakuzu directly. Kakuzu was stunned. What does this mean? You are a fan of your Majesty anyhow, I will take you back to the Empire for treatment. Yahiko immediately grabbed Kakuzu and left, reminding me by the way. This is the chain of Lingza, you can't run away if you escape the body and soul, you will definitely die if you struggle again. Kakuzu called in anger, play binding on him, I don't want face. Hiss, B**********, D, slow down. Yahiko took Kakuzu and started running wildly, and Kakuzu flew all over. Kakuzu will never forget this day, incomparable shame. Inside the Empire Lab, after failing twice, Lan Yu was lost in thought. What's wrong? Is it because of different rules in different worlds? No, Manos Grande are all out. Hōgyoku also has that ability, but why can't it be Arrancar? Could it be that the imaginary created in this world can only evolve, not Shinigami? Orochimaru couldn't help but comfort. Your Majesty, any great experiment needs to be tried again and again, and you will be successful. Lan Yu nodded, carefully perceiving every trace of imaginary energy. Although more than 2,000 virtuals were lost, they also created 3 subordinate Manos Grande. Even if they all exploded, their energy still filled the spirit subspace. Is it because I have injected too much energy, or the foundation of the imaginary is too bad? It seems that I can only find a strong soul to do an experiment. Lan Yu thought so, and at this moment, a notification came. Your Majesty, are you here? I brought you enthusiastic fans. Avid fan. Which pretty lady is it? Lan Yu thought so, perceiving the past outside. In addition to Yahiko and Nagato, there is also a very evil Ryotsu. It seems to be affected by practicing some kind of witchcraft. Very suitable. Bring him in. Yes, Your Majesty. Yahiko and Nagato walked in together, looked at the laboratory a little, then didn't look much and immediately pulled Kakuzu in. Your Majesty, his name is Kakuzu, he is very strong. Don't say that, I'm weak. The moment Kakuzu saw Lan Yu. I feel my soul is about to explode. The horror of speechlessness made it hard for him to breathe. Too strong. What madness did I want to fight against this kind of existence? Advertisement, Kakuzu? Orochimaru murmured, his eyes were surprised. Tsuchikage village once sent an elite to assassinate first Hokage, fought with it and left alive, but when he returned to the village, he was punished heavily and became a rebel. If I do a good job, your age is almost 70 years old. What the hell? Just him. Yahiko and Nagato were shocked. Is this guy who fought with first Hokage, almost 70 years old? Nagato looked over and shrugged. Sorry, my grandfather, I didn't know you were so old. If I knew it, I wouldn't be so cruel. Yahiko grinned. I'm sorry too, I knew. I won't run away with you. Your Majesty said that you should respect the old and love the young. Kakuzu. Are you a little sorry? Stop mentioning my shame. It's the old man. I don't know why, when I mentioned my glorious past when I fought against first-generation movies. Kakuzu became hardened, full of fearlessness. The old man fought against the god of ninja for 9 days and 9 nights, and the sky was dark and the sun and the moon were dark, and he transformed the map of the ninja world. If it weren't for being older, could you 2 little ghosts take it? Humph. Orochimaru gave a dark smile. To your sister's 9 days and 9 nights. Fight hard, I will lose after 9 seconds. Lan Yu didn't say anything, after sensing Kakuzu's soul, raising his hand was a small holy arrow. Boom. The final heart burst directly, puff cough cough, you. Kakuzu lowered his head stiffly and looked at the blood-red hole in his body, his eyes full of disbelief. Didn't I just brag, as for being so cruel? Damn it. Kakuzu let out a final roar, and fell to the ground feebly, his dim eyes full of unwillingness. Because of grievances, he can extend his life by constantly changing his heart. It is also known as, the person who lives with the sky. But accidents always come so suddenly. Kakuzu. I won't be bragging anymore in my next life. Nagato and Yahiko also had a heartbeat and immediately asked for instructions. Your Majesty, we're going to do the task, As the two left, Lan Yu grabbed Kakuzu's soul. Kakuzu. Hiss, is this the Demon King? Don't let the soul go. Orochimaru said, congratulations, Your Majesty, with the soul of Kakuzu, you will be successful. Maybe. Lan Yu threw Kakuzu into the spiritual space. Using Hōgyoku to influence him, he turned into an imaginary in a blink of an eye, which was quite different from the imaginary formed by Rock Shinobi. Although it is an ordinary imaginary, it is even more evil. Buzzing. No need to waste the ordinary Rock Shinobi soul. Let Kakuzu's transformation directly swallow the energy of the three free Manos Grande. Roar. Blue. At this moment, Lan Yu's eyes lit up. Asterisk. Chapter 60. Arrancar's Kakuzu. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement. There was a sudden roar. Lan Yu and Orochimaru's eyes lit up. Kakuzu Manos Grande is much better than the previous three Manos Grandes. After all, they swallowed 3. Although it is far from the intermediate Manos Grande, the subordinate Manos Grande has some wisdom. This is extremely rare in Hueco Mundo. The subordinate Manos Grande is a beast, and wise ones are extremely rare. Very well, you gave me enough surprises. Lan Yu increased the energy impact of Hōgyoku and accelerated the evolution of Kakuzu Manos Grande. Soon, I can see that Kakuzu's body is much smaller. But its Ryatsu is stronger. Slowly, the monster-like body gradually took on a human form. Crack. The sound of the mask shattered, revealing the face of an ordinary uncle. Carrying a knife on him, it looks like Zanpakuto, but is sealed by Arrancar's spiritual core. Moreover, there is a big hole in the body. Roar. Arrancar was born with a brutal roar, an emotion that was extremely difficult to control. Calm down. Lan Yu's Ryatsu swept out and immediately suppressed Arrancar to the ground. Perceiving his power carefully, Lan Yu expressed satisfaction. Although he could not control his strength and emotions, the experiment was successful after all. Arrancar, Shinigami's virtual, has basic abilities such as ringing, movement, steel skin, defense, Sero, energy attack, and negation, isolation. It also possesses the ability similar to Zanpakuto, which is called Gibeon. It turns out that this ability represents greed. This Arrancar has the ability to represent greed, which is similar to the ability of Espadon 0.9 Araniero Rurueri in Shinigami anime. But there is still a big gap in strength. After all, Aranilo is one of the strongest Arrancars, who has swallowed more than 30,000 vacancies. Symbolic ability. Devouring fusion, this knife. After taking Arrancar's knife, Lan Yu felt the energy. Since a ninja's soul can be affected by Hōgyoku, it can swallow and evolve Manos Grande and become Shinigami. So why can't your own exterminating cross-knife influence Zanpakuto? The more he thought about it, the more reasonable he became. Lan Yu expressed expectations for his Zanpakuto abilities. Because he didn't want his knife to be too ordinary. Am I still alive? Arrancar's confused eyes gradually became clear, and Kakuzu's consciousness reappeared. He was surprised to find that he was not only alive, but also had an energy that was very different from chakra. Many skills subconsciously appear in the mind, and they can be used as long as they are proficient. Seeing this, Orochimaru narrowed his eyes and said, "Are you still Kakuzu? If so, your majesty is here, kneel down and submit." What a magical experiment, from a human soul to a monster, and then from a monster to a human form. Then there was a new power system. Every second makes Orochimaru feel novel. After Kakuzu looked up and saw Lan Yu, his body trembled involuntarily. If he felt that Lan Yu was extremely powerful before, then he felt absolutely suffocated in the Arrancar form at this moment. That is a huge gap that cannot be bridged. Ryatsu? Yes, how did this word come up? Lan Yu's Ryatsu is far stronger than him. Farewell, Your Majesty the Emperor of the Invisible Empire. Advertisement. Thinking of this, Kakuzu lowered his head. He also seemed to understand the source of his power, which was given by Lan Yu. This is the power system of the Invisible Empire? But it seems to be different from those two little ghosts. Remember, you are Arrancar, the Shinigami Ized Manos Grande. Familiarize yourself with your power and the laws of the Empire. At present, you are the only Arrancar. Let's join the Holy Legion temporarily. Lan Yu left here after speaking. He also realized again that his Hōgyoku is different from Shinigami. It seems to record all the power systems and abilities in Shinigami. Not only that, Hōgyoku can continue to absorb new system records. For example, the chakra system. Any life form affected by Hōgyoku will be controlled by Lan Yu. Simply say, the Quincy is controlled by his holy power and life. And Arrancar is controlled by his Hōgyoku ability and life. They can be deprived of their abilities and lives at any time. Call. After Lan Yu left, Kakuzu exhaled deeply. After feeling my own strength, frowned slightly and then stretched out. Seems not bad. Orochimaru smiled lightly. Congratulations, join the Invisible Empire, and stay away from death and pain from now on. If you can, Kakuzu didn't say much, he really didn't want to join. Lan Yu puts too much pressure on him and feels very insecure. And, the pale guy in front of me, what is the look? If you were free. Orochimaru licked his mouth, then opened his mouth expectantly. Can I check your body? Don't worry, it will be done soon. The next moment, Orochimaru directly suppressed Ryotsu without saying a word. Press it on the operating table, tear. The clothes are broken. Let go of me. What are you going to do? Buy a disc. In every country and every village came to congratulate the establishment of the new sixth largest country. The gift must always be prepared at the door first. At this time, besides Tsunade, he was still waiting for Conan, and Nagato and Yahiko went back. Kushina and Mikoto have flown across the land of fire. This is the sea. Uchiha Mikoto couldn't help sighing when he arrived at the coastline of Fire Country. The endless sea, let Mikoto feel the vastness of the outside world again. Ninja world is too dangerous, some people have never left the village in their lives, let alone leave the country. There is the country of water, why is it so close? Mikoto saw the faintly visible island, and then took out the map. When seeing the icon marked on the map, Mikoto looked at Kushina and was silent. The country of water is far away, and it can be seen visually from the coastline. Named the Uzumaki country, the country that was destroyed a few years ago, *. Chapter 61. Kirigakure team, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking support. Advertisement a few years ago, the armed forces of various countries were on the rise, trying to use force to expand to seek national interests. And the tail beast is an inseparable topic, but how to better seal and control the tail beast. The Uzumaki kingdom had many powerful sealing techniques, and when Konoha didn't react, it was besieged and destroyed by various countries. Since then, the Uzumaki family has been displaced, and only a few people have fled and kept their names in secret. Such as the Nagato family, such as the parents of Shanglan, and Kushina who witnessed the demise of the country with his own eyes. Don't worry, Mikoto, I am doing well now. Seeing Mikoto's worried eyes, Kushina opened her mouth with a chuckle. But the moment he lowered his head, his eyes were so painful. The hatred of subjugation, the hatred of annihilation. Seeing the people of the tribe being mercilessly slaughtered, the pain is indescribable and can't be forgotten. In the process of your majesty's unification of the ninja world, no matter who of you participated at that time, you will be annihilated. Kushina thought so in her heart, and then took a deep breath to restore her cheerful personality, raising her hands and shouting loudly. There is an endless sea ahead, let's go and explore. First, kill these pirates. Kushina raised his hand to gather a huge arrow, and blasted directly at a pirate ship not far away. Raise the pirate flag in front of this lady, looking for death. Boom. A pirate ship carrying hundreds of people suddenly exploded to pieces, and after the destruction of the Uzumaki kingdom, this small area of sea became a paradise for pirates. When the Uzumaki kingdom was there, no pirate would dare to be presumptuous here. Kushina snorted coldly, thieves are thieves, a bunch of bastards. Is there still such a pirate? Mikoto felt the chaos outside the big country again, and immediately looked for the ship. The country of water is too far away after all. At the same time, on a small ship a few nautical miles away from the two women, 4 people were taken aback. One of them is middle-aged in his 30s, and the other 3, one boy is about 12 years old, looks ordinary. One was about 10 years old with a shark face. The last girl was the same age, with red-brown hair crossed together, and her emerald-green eyes widened. The small face is very delicate, people can't help but feel that the future must be a big beauty. The little girl said in a crisp voice, Teacher, the Red-Beard pirates have been destroyed, what about our mission? During the words, the little girl's mouth pouted, a little uncomfortable. It is extremely rare to know that she received a B-level assignment just a few months after graduation. If it weren't for the little girl's extremely talented person, the 2 teammates in the temporary team were not bad, this kind of task would not be the turn of genin like them. The B-level mission, but the mission that can fight ninjas, is much better than their previous D-level mission of sweeping garbage. The Red-Beard pirate group, as one of the pirate hegemons in the middle waters of the water country and the fire country, there's nothing wrong with burning, killing, plundering, and plundering. What upsets many people most is, the Red-Beard pirates and the other 3 pirates claim to be sea emperors. Totally called 4 emperors. Advertisement. This angered a lot of people, especially those caravans who jointly funded and sent Kirigakure a thief mission. The remaining 3 emperors are in other sea areas, each with a Kirigakure team. What kind of ninjutsu did it just now? Leading the team, Jonin Kakaden thought, our task is to destroy the Red-Beard pirates group formed by the common Jonin gathered together. Since they have been destroyed, our task is considered complete. Upon hearing this, the little girl akimbo aggressively, do I want a mission? What I want is a fight. Do you still have to go back to the village to do some tasks like sweeping trash and looking for puppies? So fierce. The milk is fierce. A teammate shivered and was beaten in fear, and another kid with a shark face grinned. The little girl is Kirigakure's famous genius, and her family power is not small. This team was only temporarily formed. Kakaden couldn't help raising his eyebrows. Then what do you say? You have to remember Kirigakure's ninja law, which is task-oriented, and can't cause trouble and cause unnecessary trouble to the village. The little girl hummed. Go on. What? They are obviously looking for a ship, and the place to cross the sea is most likely to be the country of water, and they are so strong. This is an insecure factor. As Kirigakure ninjas, they are obliged to investigate hidden dangers for the safety of the country of water. What you said makes sense. What Kakaden originally wanted to oppose. But thinking of 3rd Mizukage's order, any suspicious person must be reported, provided that a little investigation is necessary, otherwise it will be too messy. So the Kakahost said, In that case, change your clothes, and be ready for battle at any time. Is teacher. After a while, just when Kushina and Makoto were looking for a boat that seemed to be able to hold 10 people approached. When the two women looked over, they saw a delicate little cutie standing beside the boat, shouting very sweetly. Two beautiful sisters, do you need to take a boat? If you drop by, I can ask my uncle to see you off. Wow, kawaii. The moment they saw the little girl, Kushina and Makoto couldn't help but shine. Such a cute girl. However, the two women looked at each other slightly, even if the little girl dressed up like a rich little girl, her words and deeds were very simple. But the perception of Ryotsu is much better than ordinary people. In particular, there is also a Ryotsu on board that rivals elite Jonin, which is obviously a ninja in disguise. But these are not important. In order to avoid trouble when they traveled through the country of fire, didn't they also put off the Quincy suit and changed into casual clothes? Lovely little sister, is it convenient for us to go to the water country? Hearing Kushina's words, the little girl was surprised. Huh, what a coincidence, let's go to the land of water in a while, shall we? Okay, here we come, chapter 62, Terumi Mei, Kisame. Seeking flowers, seeking monthly pass, seeking evaluation. Advertisement brush. Kushina and Makoto did not conceal their strength and stepped forward to the ship. Hiss. The pupils of the four of them shrunk, so fast, there is no seal at all. Especially Kakaden, his heart sank to the bottom, before he was too far away to see clearly. But now it seems that anyone is very strong, Kushina chuckled, thank you. The little girl was surprised, and then smiled innocently and cutely. Two beautiful sisters, you are ninjas, I have seen a lot of Jonins in water country, but they are not as fast as you, and not as good looking as you. Hey, the Jonin you have seen. I can kill 100. Kushina knelt down and squeezed the little girl's pretty face, smiling brightly and saying terrible things. Gudong. For a while, the little girl's smile stopped. The other two teenagers couldn't help sweating profusely. With this kind of self-confident words, Kakaden was tight and smiled bitterly in his heart. This is really a big trouble. Okay, don't frighten the children. Uchiha Makoto showed a gentle smile and immediately relaxed the little girl a lot. Just listen to Makoto asking, little sister, what's your name? According to, the little girl who was about to say her name paused. Thinking about whether to conceal it, he gave up and said sweetly. Beauty sister, my name is Terumi Mei. Kushina blinked. Miming? No, my last name is Terumi, what is my sister's name? The Kirigakure news is closed, they probably don't know their family, Terumi Mei thought. Kushina chuckled. Uzumaki Kushina, she is Uchiha Makoto. It's them. The second of the group of 8, the people of the Invisible Empire. Before the 4 people reacted, Kushina said straightforwardly, I came out to do the task at this age, it looks like Kirigakure's little genius. And this Uncle Jonin, don't be nervous, okay? What? Terumi Mei and others couldn't help being shocked, and quickly moved away from each other, their inner vigilance to the extreme. To know that between the ninja and the ninja, after taking off the forehead protector disguise. Unless one party is too strong or has perception ability, it is difficult to judge whether the other party is a ninja before doing it. Not to mention a clear judgment of the strength level. If everyone can see it, then it's not a ninja. This posture, are you sure you want to fight? Kushina moved her wrists, and before Terumi Mei's forehand reacted, Kushina instantly disappeared in place. Go to the sea to be sober. Bang bang. Like a red flash of light flashing across, the two figures flew out in an instant. When Terumi Mei recovered, Kushina had returned to her original position. But Kakaden and the two flew upside down for hundreds of meters and fell straight into the sea. Why didn't you attack me? Is it my appearance that aroused their interest? The shark-faced kid is full of doubts, named Hoshigaki Kisame. Damn it, is the Invisible Empire going to invade Kirigakure? Little Terumi Mei was full of dignity and immediately shot with Kisame. Amazed by Kushina and Makoto, Kisame quickly seals. Water-style mist shinobi technique. The thick fog was exhaled by Kisame, and his vision was blurred in a blink of an eye. The two figures moved quickly in the dense fog, pulling apart. Water-style water turbulence. Advertisement with a C-grade water style, Terumi Mei spouted water like a small waterfall from her mouth. Swept directly towards the two women. These two kids, geniuses. Kushina and Makoto looked at each other and found surprise. You know, although Sanin graduated at the age of 6, besides Orochimaru and Tsunade. Jiraiya, who has just graduated, is fairly talented and doesn't know how to attack ninjutsu at the tail of a crane. And the two children in front of them were extremely calm and used ninjutsu, and they had the courage to attack them. This courage is definitely not easy to grow up in the future. But, come on, continue. After hearing the sound, Terumi Mei stared at the thick fog that was shaken away, and the two big beauties who did not know when they appeared beside him. Suddenly froze for a while. Chong, ninjutsu could not attack, Terumi Mei directly threw 2 feint attacks. Then he pulled out a short sword and slashed it without stopping. Kuonai was shot directly into the air. Makoto raised her hand and grabbed her wrist. Kushina kicked the attacking Kisame into the deck. Do you still refuse to give up? You are the bravest girl I have ever seen? They are too strong. Terumi Mei bit her lip tightly. But even if he was caught by his wrist, he still jumped and raised his leg to attack, and Makoto caught his foot again. Ah! Then, astonished by the two women, Terumi Mei still didn't give up, opened her mouth and bit her. Never miss any chance to fight back. The two women were stunned, as this Kirigakure's ninja, using all means. Well, really persistent. Kushina threw out the Lingza chains and tied her up. But Terumi Mei continued to struggle on the ground. Don't try to get any Kirigakure information from me, Kisame, run. You were right, you really can't divulge any information. Two such powerful people, Kisame, who knew he could not escape, made a move that surprised Terumi Mei. I saw him take out a kunai, which was extremely sharp and projected out. This direction, this angle, is my head? Terumi Mei's eyes widened. Kisame is going to kill me. Although it is a temporary team, it is too. Boom. Kushina bounced off kunai, frowning slightly. What are you doing? She may not be able to withstand torture and leak information, and the dead are the safest. Kisame spoke very seriously, and made even crazier actions. I don't have much experience, and I probably can't stand the torture, since I can't escape. I saw that Kisame pierced her heart directly with Kuwu in order to avoid information leakage. He bit his tongue without hesitation, without frowning. Bang! Until Kisame fell into a pool of blood with a smile. For a moment, the audience was silent. Terumi Mei's eyes were dull. The hearts of Kushina and Makoto were also greatly impacted. Is this the ninja? Chapter 63. Makoto captures 3 tails, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation, seeking monthly pass. Advertisement, how so? Terumi Mei was sluggish, and her psychological defenses were destroyed. The first time she went out to do a task, she taught her a very cruel lesson. People always need to grow, you can't die anymore. Seeing that Terumi Mei wanted to bite her tongue to commit suicide, Kushina immediately knocked her out. Looking at the 2 children who were fainted, Makoto exhaled deeply. One did everything in order to win, and the other committed suicide on the spot in order not to divulge information. They're true ninjas. Your Majesty will like it. So, take it away. Kushina rolled her eyes and hugged Terumi Mei. Then the other hand grabbed in the void, and directly grabbed Kisame's soul in his hand. Kisame's soul. Nani, I'm dead in vain. Excuse me, how does the soul commit suicide? Kisame is full of weakness. The next moment, Kushina returned to the shore. Lingza space. Kushina opened 2 spiritual subspaces, and threw the soul of Kisame and Terumi Mei in a coma into them, and it was done. Makoto, wait until we finish the task and then take them away. But, will you sail? Evening. From the boat, you can see the outlines of the large and small islands ahead, which is where the water country of the island country is located. And Kirigakure is in the depths of one of the islands. Are you demons? Little Terumi Mei made an unwilling voice. The teacher and another teammate didn't know what was going on, they might have passed out in the ocean. But when she woke up, Kushina directly drew her soul out. Then he stared at Kisame's soul. Did you see it? Even if you die, you can't escape, just sail. When the soul was squeezed into the body again, Terumi Mei's brain was muddy, and she still didn't know how to drive the boat to the country of water. The facts made her understand that she would never go back. Perhaps it was killed directly after using it, or it was directly tied back to the Invisible Empire. The Invisible Empires are all demons, and even the soul can play with it wantonly. What kind of resistance does her small body use? Suicide is even more of a mistake. 2 devil girls, you are so beautiful in Baichong. Terumi Mei gradually came back to his senses. Anyway, it's all like this, what are you afraid of? So Terumi Mei stared at Kushina and Makoto fiercely. Kushina smiled happily. I just like the way you want to beat me but can't beat me, it's so cute. Ah, this devil. I am at odds with you. Terumi Mei secretly swears to make Kushina cry and cry one day. Sister Terumi Mei, I was wrong. This stubborn look is so cute, I look forward to the way you grow up. Kushina rubbed Terumi Mei's hair into a mess and smiled. Quickly, when we complete the task and take you to see your Majesty, then, maybe it will be a family. His Majesty? Is it the Demon King Lan Yu? Terumi Mei shivered involuntarily. Even his subordinates are monsters. Isn't Lan Yu the monster in the middle? I'm so cute. Will he be eaten by him? Oh, I don't want to be eaten. When the sturdy little sister Terumi Mei heard about Lan Yu, she suddenly became aggrieved and pitiful, and her whole body was wilted. Advertisement. That island. And that one? Makoto sensed something and suddenly pointed in 2 directions. Ryotsu of the tail beast and the others have seen it several times. 3 tails and Ryotsu of 6 tails are as dazzling as the moon at night in their eyes, and they can't hide it at all. Leave 3 tails to you, 6 tails to me, a quick fight. Terumi Mei's eyes widened when she heard Kushina's words. It turned out that this was their purpose, but before she said anything, they were caught by Kushina and landed directly on the shore. Terumi Mei couldn't help but anxious. Hey, that's a tail beast. Kushina is very self-confident. Are you worried about us? Don't worry, no problem. I didn't worry about you, I was afraid. Before Terumi Mei could finish speaking, she was thrown into the Lingza space. We will be back soon, you can go in. Thrown Terumi Mei into the spirit subspace, Kushina and Makoto also disappeared. If you have an accident, how can I get out? No, I hope the tail beast is okay, I don't matter. Terumi Mei couldn't help muttering in distress, she couldn't understand this different space at all, she could only curl up in the corner of the space. On an island near Kirigakure, there is a deep lake. 3 Tails has always lived at the bottom of the lake. In the future of the original trajectory, 3 Tails was first sealed in Lin's body, and then implanted in her body by 4th Mizukage. After Yagura's death, he returned to the bottom of the lake, and was finally captured by Deidara and Alfie with severe injuries. Lin was not born at the moment, and Three Tails has at least more than 10 years of happy time. Tisk tusk, the bottom of the lake is still comfortable. Three Tails take a refreshing swim at the bottom of the lake. And when he thinks that the old fox as powerful as Nine Tails is sealed, it feels refreshed. Or it is smart, never commits a crime, and is free. Ulala, ulla, ulla. The huge body covered with thorns and the three-tailed Isofu sang happily. Suddenly felt a crisis coming. When it raised its head, it saw a huge arrow tearing open the lake and shooting straight towards it. This is not good. It's hard to avoid such a huge body with three tails. I could only wrap myself with the huge carapace behind him as quickly as possible. Boom. A huge explosion appeared at the bottom of the lake, and the surface of the lake was blown up directly. Roar. There was a roar from the bottom of the lake, still carrying a bit of pain. Uchiha Makoto looked at the lake quietly. She looked extremely gentle and beautiful. No one could imagine that she came to catch the tail beast. Three Tails is swimming up from the bottom of the lake quickly, and at the same time, Makoto's fingertips are condensed with the soul. Additional enforced. The use of enforcement is not just waiting for other solids to approach to control. Makoto can fully use the transitivity of the ability to attach enforcement to the sacred arrow, treat it as a manipulable solid, and then make it touch other solids to manipulate it. Roar. Three Tails rushed out of the lake. The huge body carried a great sense of oppression, especially the eyes were full of anger. It lives well at the bottom of the lake, but there are people who come to provoke it and seek death. Whoosh. A small divine extinction arrow shot over like a laser. The huge body suddenly became a living target, and a small hole was directly blasted into it. Damn human, you angered me, Three Tails roared, opening his mouth, and the huge-tailed beast bomb began to condense. The stronger the tailed beast bomb, the slower it will condense, which is extremely slow in Makoto's eyes. Sorry, you have no chance. Chapter 64. Kushina succeeded in capturing 6 tails, first order, now available. Advertisement enforced. Due to the transferability of the ability, the moment the small divine destruction is shot on Three Tails, the shape and trajectory of its body are in the hands of Makoto Master. I saw Uchiha Makoto slightly raise his hand and manipulate the shape of Three Tails' mouth. Roar. I saw the tail's mouth began to twist, and he kept roaring in pain. Damn it, Mangekyo's ability? Three Tails took a stunned glance and saw Makoto's blood-red pupils, spinning like a big windmill. But Makoto was not used, it was only observed with dynamic vision. Shadow Caress. Three Tails Jifu resolutely gave up tailed beast bomb, aroused his whole body, and wrapped the huge thick carapace behind his body. Roll forward quickly like a wheel. Like a meat bomb chariot, it attempts to crush Makoto with its huge size and weight. Stop. Makoto controlled its trajectory and directly stopped Three Tails halfway. Damn it, what damn ability is this? Three Tails felt weak and swam towards the bottom of the lake without even thinking about it. It was a mistake to come out. Ended. Makoto mobilized all his spiritual power and shook it hard. Accompanied by the huge roar, the huge Three Tails body twisted like a twist, and the huge pain gradually caused its consciousness to collapse. With Three Tails' body completely distorted, he passed out from serious injuries on the spot. Three Tails, the catch is over, Makoto is very smooth here. But Kushina is in trouble. The place where Three Tails lives in 003 is a little far from Kirigakure, and few people go there, but Six Tails Jinchuriki is the upper level of Kirigakure, and there are ninjas everywhere. The current Six Tails Jinchuriki is not the future Yugo, who has not yet been born. As the village's top combat power, especially when the situation in the ninja world is tense, I often go to the Mizukage office to participate in meetings. At the moment, Six Tails Jinchuriki is in the Mizukage office. Is Kirigakure so strong? Kushina hidden in a corner outside the Mizukage building. Perceiving all the Ryotsu in the office, it is basically a large collection of Kirigakure's top powerhouses. Rush in. No. Although Kushina is confident that his life will not be in danger even when surrounded, but that will consume too much time and cause various accidents. I can only wait, I hope I don't wait too long. Immediately Kushina entered the realm of shadows and adjusted the battle state. She will take it as fast as possible, half an hour. 1 hour. When Makoto had returned to the shore and brought Terumi Mei back to the boat, Kushina opened her eyes. You finally came out. Perceiving Ryotsu of Six Tails Jinchuriki, he is leaving the Mizukage building, talking and laughing with several high-level executives. After a while, he walked towards his home alone. Good opportunity, and the Eucharist. Kushina liberated all the power directly in the realm of shadow. AHDG. Ling's wings appeared behind him, and the Ryotsu on his body spread uncontrollably to the surroundings, and the crocheted shadow realm suddenly shattered. Boom. The moment Kushina appeared, the powerful Ryotsu on his body immediately caused countless people around him to breathe stagnant, as if the soul was carrying a mountain on his back. Those high-rises who had just left the building, as well as third Mizukage in the office, were suddenly shocked. Not good. The nearest Six Tails Jinchuriki reacted the fastest, but just as he turned around, Kushina's Ryotsu swept across. Kushina gathered Ryotsu into one place, and fiercely pressed down on the cover of Six Tails Jinchuriki. The powerful feeling of soul pressure directly stopped Six Tails Jinchuriki's body. For a moment, enough. Ling's strikes, at the moment when Six Tails Jinchuriki was stagnant. The ends of Kushina's wings suddenly blasted a huge ball of spiritual light, which rushed like a laser cannon. Boom! A huge light bomb covered Six Tails Jinchuriki, and a huge explosion sounded throughout Kirigakure, shocking all the ninjas. He didn't give Six Tails Jinchuriki any chance to fight back or evade, and fell directly into a pool of blood in the explosion. If it weren't for Kushina, the energy in the light bomb was greatly reduced. Advertisement: the flesh and blood of Six Tails Jinchuriki before it had time to release the tail beast chakra would instantly turn to ashes. But even so, it is full of holes, and there is no trace of integrity on his body. Finish. Kushina swooped into the explosion area and grabbed the dying Six Tails Jinchuriki. Rising into the sky, it turned into a stream of light and disappeared in Kirigakure. The process was too short, and when Kushina flew away, Third Mizukage rushed over. I can only see a spot of light disappearing into the sky from a distance. What happened? Third Mizukage looked at the ruins all over the floor and regretted it. Did someone throw a bunch of detonating charms and ran away? A few Kiri Shinobu who could see clearly from a distance rushed over and said, Master Mizukage, Master Kishimoto was taken away by a woman. The explosion just now was her attack. What? Third Mizukage quickly caught Kiri Shinobu. Who is it? Did you see the person clearly? She is very beautiful, with beautiful long red hair and a pair of glowing wings on her body. The mist couldn't help murmured, it's like a goddess that descended from the sky. Seeing the obsessive look of Mizukage, Third Mizukage gave it a kick. Damn it, no matter where she goes, you lead the team to chase me, Elder Yun. Come here, block off Kirigakure for me, block all ships and exits on the coast of the water country. After Third Mizukage gave the order, he hurriedly asked a few Mizukage and got the same answers. The person is beautiful, tall, young, with long red hair. Suddenly appear, wings can fly, attacks are light bombs, no knots, wearing white casual clothes. The more you listen, the more wrong, everything happens so fast. Third Mizukage frowned, and his heart gradually sank. Are you sure she is wearing only white casual clothes? Yes, Mizukage-sama, it's a very common dress. Hearing what the Mizukis said, an elder of Third Mizukage looked at each other and saw the heaviness and anger in each other's eyes. Except for the clothes and information, everything else is basically the same as Uzumaki Kushina in the 8-man group. Catch Jinchuriki. What exactly is the Invisible Empire going to do? I have maintained enough respect for Lan Yu, and even sent an elite to lead a team to give the gift. It's on the way, but what about him? Third Mizukage clenched his fists, his body exuded the indifference and anger that no one would get near. What do you think of my Kirigakure, mud? Squeeze as much as you want. Although Third Mizukage was extremely angry, there was nothing to do with the Invisible Empire. The geographical location is determined, Kirigakure cannot go deep into the mainland. The Invisible Empire is in the center of the continent. But Wu Ren wanted to pass, either through the country of fire, or through 4 or 5 small countries from the country of iron, or through the country of thunder. But no matter which type, as long as a large force is advancing, it will definitely arouse the attention of all forces on the mainland, and even cause huge suspicion and various accidents. Before even reaching the Invisible Empire, he fought with other countries first. Send an elite team to assassinate Lan Yu? Dream it? If there are too many people, it won't work, let alone if there are few people. The Third Mizukage's anger could not be vented, and he could only roar unwillingly on the spot. Come here, go and send a message to the gift giver to get them back. Do not. Third Mizukage quickly vetoed himself, and then his expression changed again and again. Notify the people of the gift, let them ask what Lan Yu is going to do, and wait for the war if you don't bring Jinchuriki back. I, Mist Shinobi, can't stand this kind of grievance. Everyone matches face to face. Wouldn't those who gave gifts die? An elder frowned further. From this point of view, if it is not for personal grievances, then the purpose of the Invisible Empire is the tail beast, but we also have Mist Shinobi. Not good. Third Mizukage's look changed drastically. 6 tails have been caught, will 3 tails let it go? Quick, you guys. No, I'll go and see. After Third Mizukage came to the lake, watching the mess on the ground, Third Mizukage suddenly felt bad. After a while, there was a heart-piercing roar. Ah, damn it. Lan Yu, wait for me. Chapter 65. Your Majesty, all countries and villages come to congratulate. First order, please support. Advertisement step by step. Kushina flew back to the ship with 6 tails Jinchuriki and left the ship directly. Even if Kirigakure made a full blockade, even if there was a faster ship, even if there were ninjas rushing and chasing on the sea, the opportunity was completely lost. Dare to come closer and blow you up. Kushina and Mikoto went out for the first time, and it was successfully completed. Not only the 2-tailed beasts, but also 2 little geniuses, the harvest is full. At the same time, within the Invisible Empire, Lan Yu didn't know how the 2 big beauties had completed their missions, he always only looked at the results. Zanpakuto. After Lan Yu understood Kakuzu's knife, he took out his own cross knife and studied it all the time. The combined use of Hōgyoku has been influencing it, and gradually it has made the Machiko cross knife some of the characteristics of a sealed state. More than that, it seems to produce a special kind of spirituality. Lan Yu flicks the cross knife. Yin. The blade is full of cheerful and light moans, like a naughty little girl. This made Lan Yu a little surprised, and finally it was no longer a dead knife. Even if he couldn't awaken his unique ability, its power was multiplied. Yhwach. Too young, he was slaughtered when he was just over 1,000 years old. Young people don't understand the charm of Zanbakuto at all. Lan Yu thought so, stroking the cross-knife. Hōgyoku influence. Between sleep and food, accumulated tempering. Infused soul essence, communication, shikai. At this moment, Lan Yu looked into the distance. And Lan Yu's red double pupils turned into multiple pupils in the blink of an eye. All-knowing, all-powerful, open, Lan Yu saw a man overflowing with haki, who was recovering to his peak state with all his strength. Tomorrow afternoon we'll come to the Invisible Empire. Invite yourself and dance together. Is it finally coming? I have been waiting for a long time. Uchiha Madara. Lan Yu's whisper resounded in the empty and magnificent hall. In the empty and dark cave, Uchiha Madara glanced in the direction of the Invisible Empire. If Danzo or Sarutobi were here at the moment, they would recognize it. The white-haired Uchiha Madara is now half black and half white, and will be restored from a wooden old man in her 40s. I can vaguely see the handsomeness of his youth and the completely unstoppable haki. In addition, the speed of extracting the vitality of Gedo statue and chakra is faster. In the blink of an eye, a lot of hair turns black, and the wrinkles on the face are reduced. Faster than expected, it's as if it's sublimated. Lan Yu? It's that unpleasant feeling again. Do you see the future? When Lan Yu asked the black-white Zetsu to inform him, Uchiha Madara was inexplicably depressed. I hid so deeply, I was even explained by Lan Yu, what's the point of everything he did? They're two extremes with Hashirama. That idiot can only anger himself, and Lan Yu seems to know everything, which makes him feel uncomfortable. Especially just now, he seems to have an illusion of being prying over. It was as if Jian Yu was standing in front of his eyes and looking at himself, quietly watching his recovery, without any intention of intervening, waiting for him to recover. Waiting for him to dance, how arrogant. For a time, Ban once again accelerated the rate of absorption. Hashirama, that best friend, the enemy of a lifetime, reappeared in Madara's mind. Soon, we will meet again soon. In this battle, regardless of winning or losing, relying on the vitality of the plundering golem, it is impossible for him to continue to live. Whether he wins or loses, he arranges everything. Just wait for one hardy battle. Tsuchikage village is dozens of miles away. Advertisement: a big battle ended, ruins everywhere. In the center of the ruins, a huge beetle with 6 wings and a tail groaned feebly. Soon, 7 tails disappeared, only one Jinchuriki was left on the ground. Yahiko also sighed, finally caught it. Isn't it the trickiest tail beast? Maybe. Nagato couldn't help but nod in agreement. The trickiest is not to say that 7 tails is the strongest. 7 tails can fly freely in the air, and spit out scale powder from the mouth to take away the opponent's vision. It is good at surprise tactics and is very fast. With extremely strong speed and flying ability, if 7 tails wants to run, few people can really catch it. Unlike other tail beasts, it is a huge living target in the eyes of Nagato. 7 tails Jinchuriki is not in love with each other, so they chased them for a long time. Conan and the others haven't set off yet. We are the closest to the mission location. Yahiko looked at the dark sky and couldn't help but rushed. We have been chasing for so long, Sister Kushina may have arrived in the War Country long ago. Nagato nodded deeply. Go home quickly, otherwise. What comes to mind? Nagato and Yahiko are very urgent. If they are closest to the mission location and come back later than Kushina's 2 girls, maybe the eldest sister will laugh with her head on her hips triumphantly. Tsuchikage ninja is chasing. 0, look for flowers. Don't worry about them, it's important to go back. When the 2 teams return to China, the sky of the Invisible Empire is gradually brightening. The people of the Empire began a day full of energy. Since the establishment of the Empire, Lan Yu created the white clouds that control the weather, making the Empire smooth. But the people do not know this. The wind is sunny and the sky is brilliant. This situation also surprised the people of the Empire. No one wants to live a wet day every day, it's too bad. Look, even God gave way to your majesty is too great. The people found a reason to respect His Majesty the Invisible Imperial Emperor. Early in the morning, Conan came to greet you. Looking at Conan, who was more beautiful and more mature, Lan Yu caringly said, I was negligent. You should rest for a few more days. It is my honor to share the worries for your majesty. Conan's gentle eyes were full of firmness. Becoming a majesty's woman does not mean that she has to live in the palace every day. What she wants to do more is to contribute to Lan Yu's ambitions and remain unswerving until death. Maybe after the ninja world is unified, he will become a concubine to accompany your majesty. Then, go ahead and be careful all the way. Lan Yu didn't say much. The world of the strong doesn't need to be long-winded. As Conan and Tsunade left, Lan Yu sat quietly on the throne, and Guan Wei was meditating. After a while, Orochimaru arrives. Your Majesty, many countries and villages have sent people out of the city. All parties have come to give gifts to the Empire. Please give instructions. Congratulations. Check the information. Ninja world doesn't tell you about humanity and sophistication. Lan Yu understands this very well, but doesn't care much. Congratulations from all countries and villages are also a manifestation of strength. Not only can it establish the status of the Invisible Empire in the ninja world, but it can also appease a small number of undecided people faster. Lan Yu is ambitious, but not blind. The Empire is not stable, there are only a few talents, and it is impossible to manage it directly from the genin world. The most important thing is that Lan Yu enjoys the process of conquering. It is too fast and there is no sense of accomplishment. If the process is too fast, it's like a candle night in the bridal chamber, and everyone is upset. Lan Yu said flatly. The gift is okay, you must abide by the rules of the empire, and the offender will die. Yes, your majesty. Seeing Lan Yu didn't mean to greet him at all. Orochimaru didn't think there was anything wrong. There are a few congratulatory gifts, at most high-level officials of a certain country or elders of a certain village, etc. even if it's a big name or a movie coming, not worthy of being greeted by his majesty in person. 10,000.